since the AVL concluded, then this could be very scary for every single team out there. DRX trying to reclaim the throne. If something is able to play a couple other roles at the same time, I don't know if it's going to happen.
Hello?
Basically, we're not sure what to expect at this point. We could be going up
Analysis.
against... Yeah,
first
we
game
don't
for
know.
DRX,
damn,
right? And
it's
they've been
taken me a
hiding
while
it quite a
to
bit during the offseason as well, even giving more chances
get
for
a
Jing to
stream
kind of show
properly
his stuff
set up.
one last time on a couple of
I
those
hope my
games.
internet
And that was
holds
great
out.
to see. But again,
I hope I'm
therefore,
live.
Solo mentioned in the interview of like,
have
well, we
no
just
idea.
don't have tape to study. Like, we don't know what they're going to come out with. We don't know what this core 5 looks like
why
in
am I so
Paper Rex.
big in the
And
webcam
everyone's
screen?
expecting, like you said, Mika, like, is it a slower Paper Rex? Is it even
What's up? What's up?
faster?
How's it
Like,
going?
are they flexing everybody? Because they have
Paper
Mind Freak
Rex,
trying to solo on a couple
Gen G,
maps as well.
Co-stream
It's
time.
just a mystery.
I think it's one of the biggest mysteries that we're going to have
Good
here
morning?
in Pacific, right?
Nah,
what
mate,
kind of
it ain't
Paper Rex
morning.
are people going
It's
to
10
get
PM
today,
here.
especially since this is
If,
their debut for 2024 on
if
the
this
Pacific
game
League stage, and
has
I feel
any
like
level of
everybody
delay,
here is very excited. Also,
I'm
really
actually
excited
just
to see
gonna
what
go to
Gen G
bed.
have up their sleeves right now, especially since the winner
Is the
of
Leaf
this series becomes
overrating
the
finally
first team
over?
to
Mate, he
qualify
played
into playoffs
pretty
and are
poorly
that
today,
much
didn't he?
closer to Masters Madrid, Kilios.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
obviously, I'm not going to
want
try
that.
to make any
It'd be stupid to say that there's any team out there that doesn't want that. But,
assessments about players
for
just
Paper
based
Rex,
off one match,
coming off
but
the
it
back
was
of,
rough.
narrowly missing out on a trophy.
He does not always play like that. That's absolute
Getting
bollocks.
that second place at the biggest
He
event that we've
literally
ever held.
pounded last
That
regular
is going
season.
to leave that kind of bittersweet feeling in your heart. And no matter how much you
What's up?
reset,
What's up?
you
Yeah, I'm on the
think about
broadcast
past,
tomorrow.
that
I'm doing
is
Sentinels
still gonna
versus
be
100
lingering there
Thieves.
within yourself. So I think for them, being able to kick off the year, get
I
straight over,
watched
qualify for Masters Madrid,
I've
and
managed to
then go on
watch
try
the
to win the
first
trophy.
game every
That
night
would be a
of
great way to just kind of
Pacific,
rectify
but I haven't had
shortcomings
time
in
to
the
do any
Yeah,
VOD
and of
review.
course, also getting
So
first
I
place in
watched
tip-off
last
gives you
night
those early
Zeta
championship
against
points as
Global.
well. So that's
I
one
didn't
step
manage to
forward for
co-stream it.
champions. Then you go
I
to
was
Madrid.
too
If you win
tired.
that, you get
I was
more
ready
points
to
as
drop
well. So
asleep.
you kind of have a safety
but
spot
I
to
faded
go all the
in
way
and
to
out of
champions now in
consciousness.
Seoul for
That game
2024,
was
and that would be the absolute
rough.
best
I was
start for
expecting
Paper
more
Rex.
of Zeta.
I'm looking so much. I'm looking so
Oh,
forward
no, no,
to
no,
just
no.
all of the
Obviously, I did not
absolutely
watch
crazy
the first.
Reddit posts that
No,
Charlie Kelly
obviously,
made.
I didn't
This
watch the
is-
T1
this is
League
how
game
this
live,
happens.
but I did
Championship
watch the
wins. This is how
VOD.
they're gonna make it over there. If they
We should do
continue
that
going
to
down.
this
It might be a
board.
little
There you
low
go.
or stream a
Yeah,
little
of
high.
course.
Start
Track of
writing
it.
all over this thing.
By
I
the
normally
time
watch
King
it.
of
I
Ends,
normally
you're gonna see
watch
all of this covered
streams
in
at 50% anyway. I just
There's
thought it
like
might
some
be a
kind
bit
of
low.
string theory happening on here.
It's inevitable. I mean, every single
Yeah,
team
so
out
we're
there that
doing
has a fan,
Sentinels
they're gonna
100
be
Thieves
people who are
tomorrow.
trying to do the math,
Elimination
figuring
game
out, like, this is where they
again,
can
by
get
the
this,
way.
and
Well, that's
Oh
what
if
my
keeps
they
it
do
God.
that,
interesting.
and this team
It's
loses, then
inevitable.
blah, blah, blah,
It's
blah, blah, and then
absolutely
somehow
inevitable.
it'll still come down to MIBR getting a knife.
How is LA?
Yeah.
Fucking miserable,
And a coach
man.
playing it. The coach brings some
Fucking
victory
miserable.
for another team.
I did
yeah.
not like the
Well,
Global
before we
Esports
get
buying
ahead
comp,
of ourselves
but
and start
I did
predicting
think that they cooked a
entire
little
year,
bit
of
with
course,
how
we
they
have
were playing
PRX
it.
and a Gen G, and it
They
is so
had-
exciting to welcome,
it wasn't
you know,
that bad
the champions
for
from last year,
doing
Pacific champions
the
from last year,
5-person
over
out
back to the
hookah
Pacific League
pop,
stage, and I
and
feel like for
it wasn't
Gen
that
G,
bad for
this
short
is going
pops
to be
either.
a tough time. Like,
And
they
I
do
think
struggle
it
to draw
actually
so to say, like,
stressed
oh, we're up
Zeta a
against
little
Paper
bit.
Rex this time around, right?
I mean, Group of Death, like Solo said, I think everyone would agree.
I
for
don't
this,
think
whether
it was
it's RNG or
good,
Gen G,
but
it's a Group of Death
they
no
had
matter
clearly
what.
thought
Because
about
the
how they
biggest
wanted
thing
to
is
play it.
I don't know if
I
Gen
don't
G
know
necessarily has
why
as much of a
they
home
played
crowd
that
going
comp.
LA with
either,
no
But-
car,
because
ah
Paper
yes,
Rex has gained
beautiful
a lot of
experience.
fans in
Oh, yeah.
Korea over the years, especially
But,
after last year lifting that trophy
for
over
example,
DRX
they
and
had
then
a
going and
Viper
representing
Orb
Pacific
lineup that
all the way
landed
to the
on top
grand
of
finals of
Truck
champions. Even
that
the Korean
act
fans are
as
like,
a,
Paper
like,
Rex is where it's at, right?
because
They're
the
the
Viper
reps of
Orb is so
Pacific.
big, it
So
blocked
Gen G
Heaven
has
and
a
it blocked
lot of work
backside,
to
and
do.
it let
No,
you
they
do the
really
short
do, but,
exit.
I mean, that
And then they
makes
did the
me
Viper
very
Wall
much
that let you
consider
flood
something
out
I
hookah.
haven't really put that
And
much
then
thought
you
into
can get the
because
smoke
in your
down
brain's like, okay,
over
Paper Rex,
towards
they're gonna
CT
come
as
back,
well.
they're
So
probably gonna be
there
very
actually,
strong, make it to the
there
finals.
was some stuff
Do
going
we-
on
do
there.
we see the
I don't think
back-to-back
it's good. I don't
champions
think other
within
people
Pacific
should
itself,
start
or
doing
is
it,
there
but
going to be a change-up? You know, does somebody
with
else
the
eventually
crew
grow?
Sunset
If it's
no
not DRX,
duelist,
who else is it going to be? So I think it's
again,
just neat to
I'm not
think about
huge on the
all of the
composition,
teams that we've
but
seen
they
so
played
far,
around it quite
who is going to be
nicely.
capable of being able to lift that one? Because
I think that G2 were really the team that played the map worse, even though they won. Because
Yes. Very
already
wrong.
within the first 2 days.
oh, by the way,
You know,
they're talking about
first one with
Preds.
a little bit more
What an
time,
upset
maybe
that Talon game
settle
was.
into
Governor
that
absolutely
pattern being laid out.
pounded.
But
He had
for right now, it
400
seems
fucking
like
ACS.
pretty much everybody
Like, that is
completely
wild.
wrong about,
but yeah, I mean,
don't know, what, from second all the way down to 11th?
I currently have every pick in America's correct. So with, listen, people can start throwing shade at the power rankings all they want. But I've currently got a perfect America's bracket. Was that an upset? Yeah, I think that was an upset. I mean, Talon didn't perform well last year. Secret actually looked fairly good. I think it was unexpected to most people that Governor and Ban were going to come in there and just slap people around.
Karen has to come in and say, you know what, I've been ready for this, I've been coached through this as
Yeah,
well.
I didn't realize that so many of these games would be close in Americas, but so far the bracket's intact.
He has to be able to hold his ground.
I love that these rookies, the new faces here, they're like
I did watch Global Esports versus Zeta. I watched both maps, yeah.
Right? You have
Did Riot end up punishing the G2 fan? I'm not sure, but he came and apologized to me at the end. I mean, not like a serious apology, but his friend took a photo with me, and then he was like, ah, my bad for that, you know? Dude, absolutely least Guna-pilled G2 fan. I mean, I was... Dude, if Golden Boy had decided to throw back to us, I was in pieces for like 30 seconds. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't believe what he'd said. I couldn't believe him. What did he say again? Valen is my goat, Valen in my throat. Like, just poetic, but unhinged.
Not just like one country either, across the different countries, whether it's academy players, whether it's
yeah, Golden Boy played it off very well.
We're seeing teams scout out new talent and bring them up to the big
You have Discord open? Yeah, I do.
It's very much flipping the script as far as the expectations are concerned.
We have Doug and Bala been? They rotate the casters around. We're not going to be there for the final week of kickoff.
There's so many rookies that haven't played a tier 1. They're probably going to take some time to...
I assume Doug and Bala are coming for the final week. I think they might be coming for the second week. I'm not sure.
Get used to being on stage in front of an audience, and that's just been completely subverted.
Did Sentinels play well, or did they disappoint? I thought they actually played pretty well. I think that it was very difficult for them to adapt to what the composition was from Loud on Map 2, and so you should expect Sentinels to have a very different performance if it was just a meta comp versus the meta comp. But on Split, I actually thought they kind of played the better game overall, but like insane round from Kalanzine, 2 insane rounds from Sadak. And I think, dude, Sadak is just actually the best IGL in the game on defense of all time. I don't quite agree with the general narrative that came out of that game that he's just a GOAT IGL completely. Because I think I prefer the way that Finesse calls the attack sides, but Sadak's adjustments on defense are outrageously good. Like, his reads of where people are going and how to rotate and how to like play around stuff on defense side is nuts. And I don't think anybody else is doing that kind of stuff. I think most IGLs focus on attack side. Can I tag you in something egregious in the Discord before the game starts? I need names and shame. What do you mean? I sacrificed my follicles to be here? Pogchamp. My PC setup, to be honest with you, RJ, is so janky, but I do have my phone. What's up, Van Silly? How's it going?
We have a great team.
Is it fair to read into the fact that 100 Thieves got a map off Lev, that 100 Thieves has a fair chance against Sentinels?
We don't really have a key player. I think everyone is a key player of the team.
I think that the level of play in Sen Loud was higher than the level of play in Lev 100 Thieves. I think there is a case to be made that Leviathan did not look as good as they should have done based on their on-paper roster. And in fact, Aspas just went nuclear. But we'll have to wait and see. That's kind of the beauty of the beginning of the season, is that you can have theories like that, but it's really tough to tell because the sample size of stuff is really small. I think one of the issues with the way that Leviathan played is that their players, apart from Aspas, are generally quite supportive or passive players. And if King isn't having a good game, which he wasn't for most of that match, they are going to struggle to turn up the tempo because it's only Aspas that wants to take fights. Tex is not the most aggressive player, neither is Kong. And Mazzino's down to brawl a bit, but doesn't tend to be in the midst of it.
이번 시즌 T1은 자유로운 스타일을 가진 팀이 될 것 같아요. 이제 경기 시작하면은 누가 진짜 잘하는지 볼 수 있을 것 같아요.
Dude, I've turned it down so many times. I think it's that I'm not very loud.
There is a unique strength of our team. We don't care who we face, and we don't care how hard it is. No matter what happens, we will always win. Everyone was the champion last year.
The problem is,
This time we will
My setup is
get
so
even more
janky.
stronger.
Let me see if I can do something. Why is this in Comic Sans? I don't care. I actually don't care. Fuck it. Okay, the input volume was way down. Okay, what's that like? That should be way louder, right? Is that better? Is that better, or is that like... Yeah? Much better? Okay, because I think that might start peaking as well. As long as it's not going like in your fucking head, then all good. Because I can always... You're a little high, but way better. Peaked slightly. Okay, let me turn it down just a tiny bit. Tiny bit. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, and then we can adjust the... we can adjust this volume now. Zels is called Lev versus Loud, Ass Piss versus Sad Hack. Thoughts? There are no thoughts going through my head at that. No thoughts.
After a wave of changes, stronger teams were waiting in the wings.
All the EG players look amazing. Did that surprise you? Yeah, it did actually. It did a little bit. I thought the EG players would be decent at the very least. I thought people like Ethan, for example, and Demon One would be fantastic, but I was expecting like Com in particular to not quite be as good as he was during the match, and he surprised me. He played really well. Plus, I was listening to the communications of how Leviathan was calling, because I was really interested to know like what people's English level was and that kind of thing. And Com was doing a lot of mid-rounding. He talked about it in the interview afterwards as well, but I can just confirm. Like, he's not bullshitting. He was doing a ton of mid-rounding. So yeah, providing a lot of value in the communications department.
Against old rivals RRQ. Rev up the engine and keep the momentum going for the return of the ultimate Gen G.
Thoughts on Leaf's performance today? Yeah, pretty mismatched with the team overall. And also just not hitting the same way that I would expect. Just a lot of shots that I would expect Leaf to be able to get, that he was getting last season, that didn't really seem to be there. Rough. I mean, he brought it back in the final map, because the first half, if you look at the first half versus the second half on Ascent, there was a massive difference. But there was a lot of periods of that match where Leaf was not having very much impact. And it's not like he was just getting a ton of space for the team and then dying, or getting traded out. I didn't look at the cast, but I would imagine the cast was fairly low for significant portions of that game. Hopefully Leaf develops a bit more into that role, because, dude, Leaf was so fucking good on Cloud9 last year. But maybe that was to do with a bit more of the synergy between him and the rest of the team. It looks like G2 are struggling to integrate him a little bit. Leaf had 60% cast? Yeah, that is quite low. That is quite low. That's about as low as it gets for duelists in a winning game. What do you think of Sentinels vs. Loud yesterday? I thought it was a fucking awesome game. Sick game. It didn't really knock my thoughts on Sentinels that much. Barely at all, actually. I think Loud just fucking legit. Yeah, Valen went nuts in that game. Ragstar, thank you for the tier 1. Sorry if I miss any subs, by the way. My setup is so fucking scuffed. There is no shot I'm going to be able to catch everything. But I appreciate it. Can you refresh? I think you're behind. Mate, I don't give a fuck. Again, my setup is so bad. I don't understand why you would care if I'm like 3 seconds behind the main broadcast, because you're not watching me and the main broadcast at the same time. Like, dude, why do you have it up on both monitors? Checking the fucking sync. What does it matter? Alright, so what's going on here? So, I've got to tell you guys, I didn't watch the Gen G versus RRQ game. I saw that it was happening. It was happening really fucking late, and I haven't caught the VOD yet. So I'm coming into this not knowing much about Gen G. I looked at the stats. I saw the texture farmed. I was expecting texture to be extremely good, but I'm coming into this without really knowing how Gen G performed against RRQ. So we got Breeze. What do you reckon the odds are that Paper Rex is playing sensible compositions here?
The sheen off of your dome is frying the sensor of your webcam.
Thank you, Drew. Thanks. That's really kind of you, actually. Thank you for the 67 months. Does the winner of this qualify? They don't qualify to Madrid, but the winner of this goes to the playoffs of kickoff. No one in APAC on Breeze has played a normal comp? I don't think that's fair. I think there are two archetypes of compositions at the moment. Actually, there's kind of three. Although, anyway, let me explain. There's a double controller, double initiator duelist meta, and then there's the standard composition from last year, which is the Cypher Viper stuff. And then there's a slight variation on the double smoke, double initiator, which is the Yoru instead. But the Yoru's like halfway between a duelist and an initiator as well. It can play more supportively. So I think that's more similar. I don't think that that's batshit crazy. I think looking at it from like an ape, from a... Okay. Wow. Right, so, dude, both teams are playing, instead of playing the Harbor, both teams are playing like Astra, Omen, that kind of thing. So that's an interesting one. Gen G look like they're trying to have their cake and eat it here. They're playing solo Initiator Sky. I think that is going to be extraordinarily difficult for them on the defense side. Because they're just going to be lacking a ton of information. And also a ton of utility to set texture up. And for Paper Rex...
different angles than you're used to.
That means that with this matchup right here, a single duelist comp on Breeze will finally get a win. The question is, which one is it going to be? Yeah. Is it going to be the Jet or is it going to be the Yoru here from the side of Paper Rex? Because so far we have only seen success from the double duels composition.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know about the Paper Rex comp.
No Sentinel composition, right? That is definitely W Gaming. So let's get this first match started. Paper Rex versus Gen G. Over to Ham Quest.
3 smokes just seems... Why? Dude, I didn't even realize they were running the Harbor until then. I thought they were just running the Viper Omen. What are they gonna... How... What is the point of running triple controller here? Alright, let's have a look. I mean, you can smoke the bottom of holes. You can smoke off nest. I mean, they're going to be going for a lot of lurk plays, I would imagine. And trying to use a lot of aggression on one side of the map to set up lurks on the other. I would expect them to do some, like... 4-1 defaulting a lot of the time, trying to create tons of pressure. I mean, look at that. Smoke down holes right at the beginning of the round. That cam is interesting, though. I was going to say... I did say Gen G looked like they might be struggling for info on the defense side, but they've immediately got a cam in mid that, unless Paper Rex breaks it, is getting solid info. And something's taken damage really early on. Dude, I do not like this Viper wall, too. I've tried running this in ranked games before, and I find it to be clumsy and awkward to play around on defense.
Has been shown here by the hands of Paper Rex. There it is. There we go. On the clock, there's still so many options they can choose for, and I think they're just making sure that Gen G has to just commit a lot of their stars.
I know that Boast has run it once before in an off-season tournament. I don't think it's good. We'll see.
They're going all over the map, but here it comes.
Yeah, Tripwire on that A site. This is the Yoru, though, so he can't bypass it. Needs to break it. Munchkin has been given up already. Right in front of him, too.
Ah, dudes. Paper Rex are just... Gen G need to be getting those kills, right? Gen G have to be making more of an effort. I mean, Monied's bloody vulnerable up. Alright, decent help there from Gen G to be able to deal with Devi, who's going on an aggro lurk instead of trying to backstab, but it's not planted for him, so... So now we've got a secondary lurk coming through from something. Again, not planted for something, so probably not the greatest decision to go for something like this. He's able to get back out to the rest of his team. Oh, texture. And he hits the backwards headshot onto Forsaken as well after the dash. Oh man, texture is so good. He's actually a top duelist player on a bad team. I guess this team isn't that bad, but last year it was pain. Especially because he wasn't even playing the duelist role a lot of the time. Well, I think that should have been Paper Rex's round, but I think they were trying to do too much with the Halls lurk. Both of the players that went over towards Halls ended up dying. Not that something died in Halls, but I don't think he was really doing much in that round.
he's looking to pick up the Blade Storm early on.
Oh, he wants to go for this insta peek on.
Oh, I didn't watch the RRQ game, so I'm not sure, Zin.
They give him the satisfaction. He's getting closer. His teammates breaking and giving as much.
Yeah, it is pretty silly that they ran SK Rossi constantly on Jet. Yeah.
I mean, that's the other
when they
thing,
had
right?
texture
Because
there.
it's an outlaw. It's just so powerful. Anything.
Hey,
on
Bot
an
Mop
each
Flop, how's it
round,
going?
Just chews right through. So these guys, Paper X, they got to be so careful.
So we watched Paper X during the off-season playing Yoru on this map. I can't remember exactly what the composition was, but I do remember Forsaken playing Yoru here and running into the trip and then teleporting away a lot. And I think I think during the off-season he didn't realize that they'd updated the trips. I think he thought he was breaking them when he ran into that.
Reloads. They know he's here. They don't really want to.
I'm going to assume something is not going to go for those kind of plays.
So they're
we'll
running
see.
out of options. You can't go back into Elbow. You can only. You're pretty much stuck inside of B main. Texture. Well, Tailwind's away. So.
Didn't Monyet play Omen in Afrika?
Right?
Well, he did play Smokes, but I mean, do you mean on this map? I can't remember what they played on this map. They definitely didn't play triple controller. The texture just follows up with an ace. So now he's got his Blade Storm online already. He's 9-0.
For Texture, starting things off. I mean, yesterday he said he was hangry. Today,
They were running Omen Viper with Monyet on Omen. Yeah, I didn't remember that portion. I just remembered the fact that they were running Yoru. And I remember that they didn't look amazing with it either.
Trying to maybe go for some picks or the spike plant. Couldn't really find anything, and that's a little bit surprising.
There's so many players, I think, in this 2024 Pacific League that is on their revenge arc, right? Like Lenny.
So something has the ult. They've been playing specifically to get that up. So now he's in. What's the game plan here? Do they have some kind of follow-up? Are they just planning to spam? Oh, he's going to come out. And now he's just basically taking duels, right? Nobody able to follow. Oh, wait. Okay, Monyet tried to follow up. That's an extremely ambitious attempt to follow up there.
Up as well, so there's a lot more room for Forsaken trying to play around this, pushing Gen G.
I mean, it's just Paper X things at the moment, isn't it? They're trying to re-push over and over again to fight. I don't like these decisions, but this is the kind of stuff that Paper X does all the time. Don't exactly understand how Mind Freak died there. I assume some little pieces of spam too. They don't realize that Meteor's that close. That's a bit lucky from Divide going for the shallow peek. Nice from Divide with the clutch. Not huge on the way that Paper X played that round overall, to be honest with you, but you know, it's acceptable. I think, you know, if you wanted to be kind to Paper X, though, playing aggressive in post plants like that is probably a decent idea against double smokes compositions. Especially the double smokes double initiator comps that like to play retake a lot. This version of the double smokes, where it only has the sky, I don't think you have to be crazy aggro in the post plants, because you're not that worried about the retakes. But it is generally going to be a good idea for Paper X to play aggressive, I think. Alright, Cascade right at the start. And they're just brutalizing these Gen G players trying to play over A control. I don't think Gen G are going to be able to control A against the Cascade. It just doesn't seem possible. What? That's ludicrous. Okay, well, we're understanding why Karen got picked up for this team then, I guess. What the hell? Again, I don't think these are good decisions being made by Gen G. But what the fuck does it matter when Karen just bangs 3 people out like that?
They've been wanting to get this A main control for the longest time, but the smokes, man.
Dude, actual Bren rant. You get shot, you die. Actually, this isn't the optimal play trying to fight here in the 1v3 just out in the open. Meanwhile, fuck you, Josh. I'm just going to shoot them in the head. The spray transfer from the first to the second kill is immaculate, man. God damn.
I bet Will is starting to foam at the mouth. Yes, 3-1. Yes, this is what I was thinking.
I want to see a Fleta deadlift. I guess we wouldn't be able to call it a Fleta deadlift. We'll call it after texture if he actually manages it. We'll start calling it a texture deadlift. I want to see Texture get more than half the kills of his entire team.
But of course, they still have to deal with this close contact that Lakia is setting up on A.
So we've seen a lot of teams be able to generate picks from these eco rounds in Americas with just really good ideas of how to isolate and swarm. But Breeze is such a big map. How'd you manage to do that? Texture's about to get contact over towards mid.
But then you also got to worry about Texture and this op.
This is the problem about having
interesting play. Open the door, dog all the way down it.
These set angles.
Heyo, Josh. How's it been?
Pretty good, honestly, Nate. Thank you. Not amazing, but not terrible either. In-game sound up? I can if you want. If people think it's low, for sure. Yeah, the B wall from Gen G is... I mean, they're rotating these defensive walls quite a lot. This is another one that I don't think is amazing, but it's okay. It gives you a little pocket to play off if you want to hard anchor from around ladder. It forces you to pass through it multiple times as you go for a B hit. And also it lets you fight over B main control a little bit as well. You can put it up at the beginning of the round or fight over like elbow at the start of the round and then put up the wall, that kind of thing. It's not horrendous. TMV was ranting about why buy a Guardian when you can do the same with a Sheriff.
And ideally what your team would want to, you know, use in these situations to
I don't understand the point, really. Does he mean just considering that... Oh, by the way, people were deliberately buying Guardians in one of the games that I was watching. I think it was the Zeta game last night. The Zeta players on Bind... Was it on Bind? Maybe it wasn't. Were deliberately buying a Guardian instead of a rifle. And I was so confused. Was it the Zeta game? I still don't understand now after thinking about it more why they were doing it.
Yeah, precisely, right? I mean, that's the other thing. It's just having those three smokes, three controllers.
What does the tick box mean below the logo? I have no idea what you're talking about. You'll have to be a bit more specific with the question.
Block off certain areas. Make sure that Texture.
What time is it? It's 10:30 at night. All right, so Rifle's back for Paper Rex. They've immediately put down an aggro wall over towards A. Gen G's running Meteor there as the Cypher, and the Sky's gone into a hard anchor position on B. So these are fairly common things. Texture's going to take a peek, spot something instantly, but it's now going to back. Cascade down halls to try and take some halls control in order to get a better positioning for this ult. But Meteor's not inside the radius of this. So Meteor's managed to find one. Could still get more. All right. Something's able to get the pick and get out. Look at this fast flank from Lakia, though. Yeah, way faster than they were expecting. I really quite like having the initiator hard anchor towards B. I think it can be super effective. You get very good specific information about whether or not they're towards B, and it lets you rotate early, as you just saw. But here comes that lurk from Devi. Good shot, man. 1v1, Devi again. Oh, dude, Devi has been clinical at the end of these rounds. I think both of the rounds that Paper Eggs have won have been off the back of Devi winning a 1v1 towards the end. And Devi was a monster during the regular season last year too. He didn't actually play that incredibly well at the international events, in my opinion. But during the regular season, actually also during the playoffs, I think, he was really good last year. Arguably their best player. But very debatable, very, very debatable. I'm watching on YouTube.
If I can add, you know, they spotted Texture on mid, so the threat of the operator is way far if they actually just start, you know,
so Paper X Cascade to block off a B main peak and looking to try and take mid. Smoke goes up. So they're committing the Viper Wall at the very beginning of... Oh no, that's not the Viper Wall, sorry, that's the Harbor Wall. They look so similar on the minimap. What is this Omen smoke? Dude, look at this. Monye was trying to teleport into it. He was about to teleport into it and Meteor just spammed him. Oh, dude, Monye was cooking. Meteor's cooking. Dude, look at that. He was trying to set up a smoke on top of that box and then teleport into it. What a fucking mad cunt. Oh, I wish we'd seen Monye go for that. That would have been so funny. Good high tide from Forsaken again. One at the beginning of the round that was decent, and then this one as well. Devi is on the perma-lurk. Perma-lurk. And did they find him? Oh my god. Oh my god, Forsaken, you gotta hit that. Devi, though, wins it. Devi is not having impact in these rounds until the very end. And then he's clutching. I'm not sure they need him to be on Viper, dude. The Viper walls are not really being that useful here, I don't think. But you could see Paper X had something that they were trying to cook there. Monye was about to go for the Giga play.
Counter timeout being called now by Gen G.
Yeah, they just, again, they're starting to lose.
We're in round 8, in your opinion. Why are they running triple smokes? Well, they're blocking off a lot of the angles. They're actually being able to take mid control fairly well. And they're splitting on every site hit, pretty much. Like, even when they've gone A, they've mostly tried to pressure halls at the same time. The smoke is useful for taking halls control. The cascade is fantastic for taking A main control. And then they've got the Viper to lurk mid and occasionally throw like mid to A walls or to throw an orb at the start of the round. I mean, they can literally smoke off every important position. It's working fairly well.
Because of how many smokes they can keep utilizing to block the sight lines of the players of Gen G.
Yes, right. And not just that,
see their logo during the timeout? Sorry, I didn't look again. I didn't look.
Third controller, Devi as the Viper, as more of a
oh, you mean the little diamonds underneath? Right, yeah, that's how many timeouts they have remaining.
Can hang back towards mid, can get further information, try to cut off rotations as Gen G tries to retake.
Dude, to be honest, I'm not sure why they're running triple smokes. I don't have a good answer for you. I think Monye was trying to cook up a crazy play there, though, that might have demonstrated a little bit of it. But I think when you look at what they're doing, they're using a lot of the Viper and Omen utility. Sorry, they're using a lot of the Harbor and Omen utility. This round, they've put down the Viper wall right at the start. How Chad would it be for that to actually be the Yoru? Just fucking power walking their way through the trip. The teleport there from the Omen is pretty good. They've got double teleport into the site on the entry. Monye playing alongside something. That was a pretty effective way of being able to get past the Cypher setup. I mean, they made that round look easy. Yeah, they had a weapon advantage, but they have perma smokes in the like wall because they can Viper wall, then Harbor wall, then Viper wall again. And then they teleport both of their duelists into the site, where they can then follow up off the solo piece of initiator utility. Yeah, there's definitely there's a strat there, isn't there? Joshua, thank you for the tier 1. Volume? Okay, a few people are mentioning the volume, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I'm going to turn it up to that. Let me know what you think. Alright, so they haven't used the Cascade over towards A at the beginning of this round. They're throwing down a wall, not the Viper wall, but the Harbor wall over towards B. Smoking at the bottom of halls, smoking the A split, and they're in with double lurk in mid. There's 2 people there. I don't know whether something wants this smoke. Paranoia for him to try to follow up off. Lakia just has no awareness that the Viper could be in, the Yoru could be in backside. They're making it awkward for the people trying to hard anchor here because they're getting around them. Alright, so now it's the last 2 players alive, Monye and Devi, who were on the double lurk. Devi is miles away, man. Again, hasn't used the wall. All he did was orb towards the bottom of halls to threaten that.
screen. I
don't think they're really getting the most use out of the Viper utility, but now he's thrown it. And it finally pits in round 9. The texture looks like he's got a nice angle into this. What the fuck? Good round from Caron.
Able to isolate, able to feed off of the play to
double kill inside the pit.
Opportunity to retake the site and secure the round once again.
Your mic is pretty loud. It's like I can hear you inside my head. You're allowed to turn down the Twitch stream, you know.
I don't want to say streets, but
yeah, louder and triple smokes on bind. And the Omen there was played a little bit like a, how would you put it, like a bit of like, almost like a duelist. Like Sadak was trying to take space on his own and use one ways to try to give himself favorable duels and kind of take map control with the smokes. Somewhat solo. Monya here is playing to deny information from Gen G and then act like a duelist once they get to the site. Although that round he kind of lurked.
I'm gonna have to find another other than something to do this.
The paranoia though is definitely finding value, and anytime they smoke the site like that, it is so dangerous because the Yoru could be teleporting into it and the Omen could be teleporting into it. So I think they're kind of cooking here. The thing that doesn't appear to be cooking that much is that, dude, the Viper walls just aren't that useful. I guess now it's useful at this point in the round, but it definitely feels like the Viper is the least useful of the 3 smokes that they're playing with, because they're normally using the Harbor to actually get on. Mind free, playing against Meteor. I mean, this is walking forwards there to try and take the fight against a player that could be swinging out of any point of the cage is just mad bastard behavior. Okay. Yeah, Devi is doing a deep Viper wall so that they can actually play aggressive for backside. Because I guess if something doesn't die, being able to flash for backside control is really good. And just limiting yourself to offsite post plants with this composition doesn't seem great. You don't have very good offsite post plant utility. So I think it's pretty reasonable to throw that deep wall. It's just that, yeah, Devi is very much a late round agent on this comp. But yeah, PaperX have definitely got some cooking ideas here. And I think the smokes onto site are really threatening against the, like with the Yoru and the Omen. Because you don't want to play behind it, because then they're going to walk in behind the smoke. And you don't want to play in front of it in case they teleport behind you. Okay, they use the Cove to defend Forsaken as they break the trip. That's cool. They drone in, they realize that there's so many fucking players here, and now they're looking to rotate off. Now Lakia becomes really important. Look at Lakia, pushed up. Something just kills him. Maybe if Lakia had had a rifle, that would have been different. But this was an eco for Gen G. Today was a day, eh? It was a day. Dude, Golden Boy. Oh, God. You should have seen how much I was cackling at the throat goat.
It's a lure into their trap, man. They're just saying, sure.
Today was a day.
This is the perfect chance for him to get some kind of information.
Surely you just shocked out the trip. What's the point of using the Cove there?
I stopped myself mid.
I don't know.
Already, all right? You didn't have to.
I don't know.
I feel you, that's right.
I think he. I think he might have used the Cove reactively because he realized that he was going to get caught. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure the shock should just be able to deal with it every time.
Sorry, it's not easy. Think you can do our jobs.
All right, Caron's alone. I mean, he's gonna probably just wait till this event horizon.
Oh, did he miss the shock dart? Ah, right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't see the detail of why he actually used it. I'm not paying attention to the eco rounds as much. Isn't shocks better for afterplant? Not really, because you're not going to play full offsite afterplants with this composition very much. You could, but shocks are really unreliable. You know, since they nerfed the damage of shock darts, unless you're comboing them with Viper utility, they're really not that great. And at the same time, if the Viper's just using, you know, their smoke on the plant and playing the post plant anyway, then they don't really need the shocks. You're better off just playing with your rifle out. I don't know. They're much better for breaking the trips, I think, in my opinion. All right, here we go. They're in again. Double wall right at the beginning. I mean, they haven't put the Viper wall up. Texture's super deep. Oh, he whiffs, but Lackey is there. And the site anchor has managed to pick off Forsaken. Mind Freak, heavy weapons guy. I have met nobody who could outsmart a bullet. There's a smoke over towards tunnel as well, as Monyet just tries to get into sight and establish some presence. Meteor, they're so weak. They're so weak. Karen slipped into tunnel. Gen.G are doing a good job of abusing the fact that they don't have a sentinel, trying to get behind them, but it's too late. Can he get the spike and get out? Oh, what the fuck? What the maniac play was that? I thought he was running in to get the spike and teleport out. No, the motherfucker just TP'd to the other side of the pit. Alright, 6-6. To be honest, I think Paper X had more that they could have shown there on their attack side. A lot of what they did was fairly site exec heavy and just trying to use smokes to cause chaos on the site as to where the positioning of their Omen and Yoru actually was. But we definitely saw a strange set play that Monyet was trying to set up when he got killed inside that smoke tunnel. I think they might have had even more set strats that they wanted to run. But as for how this is going to work on defense, Paper X are going to have to do Paper X things and fight pretty hard for different areas of the map. Because without a sentinel here, and with 3 smokes, they are really going to be lacking information. I think if Gen.G wants to try to threaten different areas of the map, they could. Yeah, I'm sorry, the overhead lighting is fucking harsh, isn't it? Harsh in the vibe. I'm pretty new here, but did you go bald because you shaved it off, or just had horrible hair genetics? Yes. Yeah, both. Yeah. Showy, thank you for the 22 months. Nope, not doing the sub dance.
Can you do the sub dance?
Not doing the sub dance.
That's the craziest thing. I mean, you know, it's the W Gaming squad.
So yeah, what are Paper X going to do on defense side here? Well, first of all, your Viper, the most defensive agent you have, should buy a Sheriff instead of Molly's. Unfathomably based from Devi, actually. Great idea.
Paper X has to be a little bit careful, mindful about how they want to push out if that is their game plan.
Speaking of pushing out, there's like 3 players of Paper X about to have the welcome party outside A main.
Mind Freak going for a little bit of a jiggle. Mind Freak does not have a drone. He has 2 shocks.
Mind Freak to dissuade anybody pushing up onto the Hall's position. The swing outs from Paper X, like I mentioned, because they don't have that sentinel, they just have to start peeking and pushing, and as well as just getting that contact. Shots through the smoke, able to get Lakia. The push out from Texture, and he finds something.
Texture's so good, man. He is so fucking good. Alright, here's Mr. Based himself, Devi with the Sheriff. TMV recently made a video about how this is a bad idea. Fuck TMV. I fuck hardcore with the Sheriff buy.
Off angle though, so Devi can't really just waltz right through that door.
Okay, Monya picks off Munchkin. He doesn't realize that Karen is right there. Does this trigger Devi to push? Yes, he does. Devi? No, he can't quite get through the door. He couldn't squeeze underneath there. I mean, where are these guys going? There's going to be some weird level of a 1v1 on site. Alright, now Devi knows where Karen is, but he doesn't know where Texture is, and Texture's gone for the crazy wraparound flank. They're splitting this up into a series of 1v1s, but there's no way that Devi can predict where Texture is. There's just no way.
Look at the positioning.
He's so unaware, and you can see that with how he's moving.
I mean, Devi is starting to wonder where the hell this second player is. But there's just no way you think about him being right where you were. Right? Wait, was he just on his screen? Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, the Sheriff is such a good pick on the pistol round. I think he might have just seen him on minimap. I think while he was like looking behind him, from our POV, it looked like they missed each other, but I think that's a question mark on the minimap moment. Because Devi held that, looking for the texture swing for a decent while there.
Knowing that Karen's right around the corner, and he is able to flick back and forth, now catching up to Texture in terms of kills.
Devi has just been so good for them in the clutch.
Meditation, you know?
Yo, well, like what, Wario?
Texture's actually having a fucking Kesnet performance.
I mean, dude is... I use the term
Don't let this guy lose, please. Wait, hello? You're not going to paranoia into all of these guys, are you? On the anti-eco.
Big contact coming in from this one.
What? You just teleported out in the open, Monyet. What are you cooking, bro?
Forsaken, though, dipping his toes as well into the swing game outside of A main. Monyet, I love this.
There's simply no need for you to be fighting these fights. Why, Paper X? Why?
And he has to back away, wait for the reinforcements as Mindfreak.
They have fucking 3 classics and 2 marshals. You don't need to be trying to take the Marshall v Marshall duel.
Just to check. But he's got to be so careful. I mean, Gen G are bunched up together. It's a full squad of classics and marshals. He hears the
By the way, yeah, we'll just walk down halls with 2 people to take the risk on the anti-eco as well. This is why you have to be scared playing against Paper X, because they do the unconventional. They don't make sense. Of course they wouldn't push halls on an anti-eco. Why would they take that kind of risk? Why would they put their hands, their fate, in the life of the dice? Why would they put their fate in the hands of the dice? Okay, but this is pulling the rotates. 1 body shot, 2 body shot. Now I think Meteor's going to get collected here by something in spawn. No, something's been pulled because he knows that the spike is headed towards B here. He's not going to be able to deny the plant. What the fuck is this aim? A lot of damage onto Karen as well. He hit him with a body shot. Monyet's not 1 shot. Exactly. He still survives with 7 HP. But this now makes it really close. How much damage does the Bulldog do with a body shot? I think they're both dead to 1 bullet with a body shot, aren't they? Oh, the Marshals just did so much. Paper X getting punished for fighting at the start of the round.
All it took was a Marshal, and this guy's still as lethal as he was last year. Maybe not on the jet anymore, but as soon as he pushes up halls, look at these picks that he's getting.
I don't really watch FGC or Smash that much. I occasionally watch some Smash, but I don't think it's very applicable to FPS casting, to be honest. I would say I've taken most inspiration from CS commentary.
Really fun to watch, but it's not clean enough for an anti-eco round that Paper X was meant to win.
Absolutely. I mean, it just also felt like Paper X was...
Hello. What was that lineup?
Agreeing to the aim duel, and Gen G was coaxing them to do that. There was...
I don't know that one. From Munchkin.
Risk for Gen G to do that because it was a...
Looked kind of clean.
Marshals, man, they were...
Yeah, it went for Nest, but the one that I do for Nest, which is a good lineup, but the one that I do for Nest is over by Cannon.
The line of sight doesn't even have to trigger the trap here.
Might have to learn that one.
It does get a 1-to-1 trade. I mean, I don't know how impactful that is going to be, but still goes to show how both teams very much willing to take those off.
Your style reminds me a lot of the Subway Surfers procasters. Yeah, I watch a lot of Subway Surfers actually. I was watching the Roblox competitive series recently. Those guys are cooking. Underrated casting for real, for real. Yeah, one of my biggest inspirations is Skibbity Toilet, actually. I just love the toilets.
Lakia's guiding light usage. So maybe just executing onto A right now, and it depends.
Okay, is Mindfree going to be able to pick this lurk up? I don't think you checked this. Yeah, nice. And that's a gun delivered. This is winnable now for Paper X. Okay, maybe not. You know, winnable, the word meaning implying the ability to win the round, not the reality or necessity, or even implying a probability of winning the round. Simply the ability. Technically, true.
Although Meteor did die, it was
the rest of Paper X tried to fight too aggressively there, I think, to try and catch people off guard when they could have tried to play for the win con of Mindfreak having the rifle. They could have tried to play a defense that was like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Vandal. Alright, so Paper Rex looked like they were going to be in a good position for this half, and instead, looking a little dodge. Alright, they're going to triple fight over A main. They swing, find Monyet. They use Paranoia really early on. And now they've got 4 players ready. Dude, the Gen G, I'd be fucking molding if I was Gen G there. I'm like, dude, these motherfuckers fought A main, and they still had 2 people turning into 4 people ready to collect the other side of the push. Why the fuck are they just stacking 4 on A? That's why you type in the chat. Did they really start 4A? Why did they 4-stack A? What the fuck? NRG can afford to 4-stack A because they're running Cypher B that gives them all of the information. These guys have just got Devi holding the fucking fort. Actual woman staring into the ocean. When will my husbands return from sea? That's what Devi's doing over on the B site.
Both teams have actually used their first time.
All right, so Paper X are now taking a walk into mid.
Feels like they have a better grasp of what is happening right now. Again, it just goes to show how even it is.
Are we going to get another Paranoia play from Monyet? No, they go with a Cascade this time into A main. But they are heavy fighting over A main. They've decided that this smoke comp is good for dominating A main control. And I can't disagree, to be honest. The Paranoia is decent, and the Cascade's really good. I feel like B-site should be so open for Gen G. Dude, this... Okay, how did they spot him? Of course we cleared that spot.
Just getting enough information, or maybe pulling the attention away from Gen G as they start to go back towards mid. Now the high tide invested. A little bit awkward though.
He's gonna go back into an aggressive angle. He's just going to walk into them.
I mean, you know,
what?
Shame on him if he does that again.
And now Forsaken. There's no way Forsaken just walks out in the same kind of spot and sprays 2. Dude, how are Paper X getting away with plays like that, man? How is that not a non-and-done? It's apparently a 2-and-done, that spot. Never seen the like. I've never seen the like.
Maybe we could harpoon him, but we've got 13 seconds left.
There's so little time, and Devi's so clean. Actually, Devi is so clean tonight.
Devi single-handedly holding this. Can he beat down Meteor? No. But because of the recon dart, he's given away his position. Meteor is just having to hold so many angles. The shock dart.
Was that a worthwhile play from Mindfreak? Throw in the shock there.
Misses Meteor, but know exactly where he is. Down to 14. 3 bullets in a dream. And is this dream going to turn into reality?
Okay. Too weak there. Died to a single body shot, but definitely made a good try of it, Meteor. Devi's just too crispy.
So very confident. You know, cool enough. He might be the youngest player, but still has enough experience, and that's one of the things that people don't really know.
I think Gen G have tried to do too much with their composition, trying to have the double smokes, but also trying to have the Cypher. Most teams that are running double smokes have dropped the Sentinel to run double smokes, double initiator. And I think you're seeing here that there is almost no pressure on Devi. Gen G are walking into B, but then what? They flash or dog, and that's it. No real combo of utility. Not like they have double drone setups to work with. Not like they have flash recon to work with. There's no, not even really any, positions that are being taken away from Devi.
Gate crash is about to expire, but shouldn't matter at the moment as Gen G coming out of elbow.
Yeah, he can always just regroup with his team and other.
Mindfreak's gonna ult here, right? Yeah, here it comes.
Ooh, well, he can, especially because of those flashes, but the punishes from the Reckoning as well.
Okay. You normally expect more, to be honest, from the Harborol and Soverol comboed together.
With the shorty.
Oh, Flint Cole, thank you for the 10 months. Dr. Eggman? Why do Americans call it Dr. Eggman instead of Dr. Robotnik?
Capabilities, Monyet wreaking some havoc outside of Arch, but he's alone. They haven't picked up the spike.
Alright, it's not Divine in the clutch. This is winnable for Gen G.
And there's smoke. Gen G realizes, wants to actually double up. They want to use the numbers in their favor. Monyan.
Oh, no way. Oh, no way. He's actually cooked. He's actually fucking cooked. What?
He has to change, either reload or change, which he does.
Oh, God. Dude, Monyan is trying to cook, isn't he? He is trying to cook. Brother's in the kitchen. Okay. Well, Gen G finally able to secure a clutch round against PaperX. They changed his common name in the later games, generational difference. Oh, I really didn't realize that. Okay, so PaperX went for the Harbor ult into the Silver ult there, which is a really common combo that teams are going for, but they didn't really get that much value out of it, and they used it as a distraction to try to swarm the rest of their players to see if they could pick off the Gen G guys, but Gen G managed to avoid a lot of it, still get the punish onto something who came out of his, teleport. So, to tell the truth, his name has not changed, said Naka. Robotnik is his real name, and Eggman is a common name taken after his shape. In other words, Eggman is an obnoxious nickname given to him by his haters, but Robotnik is what you'd find on his passport. Yeah, that's like me. I mean, Wilkinson is what you'll find on my passport, but fucking what was it that Happy, the Korean player, called me in Overwatch? Was it like Dirty Uncle Egg or something? No, it wasn't Dirty. What was it? No, it wasn't just Uncle Egg. It was like, oh fuck, I can't remember. There was an adjective. Nasty Korean egg. That's what it was. But I think he was saying that I spoke Korean badly, because I think I probably said like "안녕하세요" and really beefed it. And so he said nasty Korean egg, and I thought he was saying I was a nasty Korean egg. Anyway, the fuck does it matter? Forsaken is walking down mid. Oh. Okay, Munchkin would have died to one shot there. He has light armor. 3 of the players on Gen G had light armor this round. Okay, this time PaperX not fighting for A main control, so Gen G take that for free. Cypher also gathers information about where they're anchoring from. Monya was thinking about using the paranoia, but didn't go for it. Alright, God is just blessing these shots. Alright, good to know. Nice shot from Meteor.
He will get diced. Mindfreak looking a little bit too far away. That's gonna leave Ilya.
Go on, go for the ace.
I was about to say Divine, and then he's just by himself right now. Oh,
go on, set up the ace. Set up the ace.
Position exposed. Gets the heal. This might actually.
I want to see Texture run forwards and updraft for Meteor to trade.
Just backs away. Wait.
They can chase. They have money.
All the way at the end of halls. Is he willing? No, probably not.
I think it ran out. He's probably opting for the save instead at this point, but still, I mean, definitely trying to get an idea.
We really are just watching a series of individual insane plays from both teams. There's definitely some thought process behind it, but I would agree that there's a lot of individualism on show.
This time you can definitely feel that A presence, and
I think that
I'm not sure how PaperX can really disrupt that. You know, we were talking about it before. That's
PaperX in particular are just so happy to pick their own timings and combo up like duo plays instead of it fitting into a wider team narrative. That it kind of breeds individualism.
Technically, the one duelist that we can reposition. I mean, you can maybe argue that Monyan can also do it.
How many games are you watching tonight? Well, my call time is quite late tomorrow, so if this game is quick, we might be able to watch the second game. But I find that to be fairly unlikely. Okay, so Gen G grouped up to go for an A hit. What is going on with PaperX in mid? They recon, teleport up with a flash. So they flash recon with a cascade to try to take mid control. So again, PaperX threatening aggression in mid right at the start of the round. Texture dies to presumably spam plus a snake bite. Monya has teleported away to B, expecting the rotate already. I mean, they've left A, assuming that this cosmic divide is a fake.
As it drops, now they know, and they even have, the Viper's pit. to make
All
things
right.
easier.
That's a little bit unusual because now this is going to be a difficult retake into the pit. I think this is a spammer job, isn't it? You don't really have... You have a drone and you have a recon, actually. Maybe Mindfreak can make the difference here with some big util. Okay, they used the recon dart not even inside the pit. That doesn't seem very good. They are spamming the shit out of this pit, though. They're spamming the crap out of the pit and they're scaling together.
Use the snake bite to get a little bit of damage.
Ooh, they're so weak. They are so weak.
Oh, this is going horribly wrong for Paper Rex. Someone's gonna have to
Time is weak. They bait out the swing and Forsaken. He kills both of them, but there's no time.
As he actually has bought enough time, they die to the event horizon, and that's gonna be Gen.G with 2 rounds.
I like the way that Paper Rex approached the pit, but I think the call was extremely weird to back entirely out of A and allow Gen.G to get the plant behind the Cosmic Divide.
And then the Viper's Pit, and how Munchkin is playing off of it. This is what Gen.G can do off of a post.
Yeah, I watched the whole T1 Bleed match. I thought Bleed looked really solid on Breeze, and it was extremely back and forth. But yeah, T1 are a good team.
And that's why it's just so much that Paper Rex has to work off, and now it's a 2-round
Something going for a little bit of a wonder. One yet.
To make it happen if they are to start out strong in VCT Pacific kickoffs this year.
Well, thankfully enough, they do have money, creds, to have...
Wait, what is that smoke at the bottom of A main? Was that Monyet's Omen smoke? It must have been, right? He just didn't buy a Paranoia this round?
A different word I can use so that you guys will
So something set up his teleport, peeking over towards elbow.
Nursing himself the operator once again. He is just holding that angle.
Looking to try and push the Vi away.
He is hoping that someone...
No Cascade to try to recontrol A main. No Paranoia, that kind of thing. Will I be banned if I'm not bald? Yeah, I'm going to be doing a hair check later on. Sinead, thanks for the 24 months. How do you rate the level of play in Pacific versus America so far? I haven't watched every game in Pacific, so I think that would be a bit unfair for me to say just yet.
For Dubai, we'll have to see how that works out, and he is trying to clear that with all intentions by himself.
He's got a bit of time.
But I mean,
oh, he is so dead. Oh, this is not looking too good for
I gotta say, generally not huge on what I'm watching right now.
Absorbs his opponent right in front of him, gets full flash, but the trades from Paper Rex are actually working. Shot through mid. Oh!
It's just so difficult to predict where something is going to be. Because they're so bold to just run and push out. Alright, that was not exactly well advised by Mindfreak, but nice from Monyet not to just immediately feed in and to sync up with something. They're doubling up. Nicely done.
Will we be able to expect more of these post-streams in the future?
Getting the final kill.
Nothing beats the original.
Yeah, I'm going to try to co-stream more.
Not something you see every day, but a welcome
there are some reasons why I
Monyet's dark cover. That one felt really iffy. But look at how Forsaken really comes back in, and after they get that information.
So I'm gonna be co-streaming lots of the EMEA games because it's at a good time zone for me. Yo, what the fuck? My PC is chugging. My PC is fucking chugging, bros. Oh, Jesus. I just wanted to do this to get back to live. Dude. Please. Please. Okay, we got back in right as the round began. Hallelujah, we didn't miss anything. Nasty.
Something at least pads the stacks.
This Cascade, sorry, not the Cascade, the High Tide the Forsaken is throwing through mid here is really annoying, especially when you consider the Paper Rex are so happy to just walk out mid in these rounds and, like, you know, teleport up on top of pillar and that kind of thing. It's got to be scary for Gen.G trying to take space in mid when you never exactly know what kind of timings Paper Rex are going to take. Where is that teleport going? Oh, just into a safe spot at double door?
1 minute left on the clock, and Gen.G actually.
You're not coming out of this. You're simply no need to do that. Genuinely no need to do that, but alright.
Mr. Risky here.
Dude, my PC cannot handle this stream. It is lagging like crazy.
Yeah. One Blade Storm at a time.
Okay. Alright, we're back. We're back. Close tabs? I don't have any other tabs open, man. I don't have any other tabs open.
Risky way. Most of them have already bypassed it, so something, going to reposition. But what I'm curious about is Karen actually lurking up around mid.
Please. Please.
Also, and, well, there you go. He finds the one pick onto something here.
After this round, I'll change the quality.
Tailwind was actually saved up by Texture, so he has...
Please, bro. Please.
Oh,
please, Mr. Hotel Wi-Fi.
Or does he? The Reckoning actually spots him out 14 seconds. Let's see what the battle comes in.
Texture is fragging on site. Big from Forsaken. That actually offers them an opportunity, but Texture's still farming. Next slide, please. Yes, Johnson, run the next slide. Okay, so our marketing plan is... Dude, can't fucking see a thing.
Has this top fragging Korean brought to the Gen G roster.
Yeah, so this hotel disabled all of their Ethernet ports between last year and this year. So I can't use Ethernet, I'm on fucking hotel Wi-Fi instead.
Having those first kills that you mentioned before, I mean, he has 16 throughout the entire series. I feel like this one, he got even more. But not just
I would like to... I don't think that's the internet, though. I think that's my PC. I haven't used this laptop in a while, and it's getting a little old at this point, but it should still be able to handle this. Alright, triple push, down halls. The quality's so fucking bad. Look how good the cascades are. Great read, though. Great read. And Paper X have just dire economy happening currently. They're obviously not just walking down with only Mon yet, so Gen G have got to expect this. I mean, Gen G 100% should be expecting this.
There is no money for Paper X right now.
No way. No fucking way Forsaken gets one. There's no way the Paper X are winning this. Oh, thank God for Munchkin. Thank God for Munchkin. Now, Devi has been clutch as fuck for Paper X so far. But if he wins this 1v3,
I'm running out of words.
I'll eat my sock.
I would have thought that maybe at least something.
He just doesn't have any site control. No concept of where people are going to reposition to. It's not happening.
Just a little bit off, but then at the same time for Gen G to pick up these frags that quickly. They are looking in new form today. William is definitely chuckling at the desk. And now they are just one kill away from pushing us into the next map.
Definitely patting himself on the back with his Gen G inspired outfit.
Here we go. Any sock consumers?
To supplement himself. He just has
I think not.
Weapon in the corners, and that spike
Texture to finish.
Down ever so
I'm not worried.
Exploding. He does fight Texture, but
there's a pull on the spike.
Karen's just gonna activate gravity well. Whoops, whoop. That's about it.
They know they got it.
He's got no time, man. That's gonna be it.
Huge. Okay, Gen G managed to come away with the win. I think there were just so many moments in that game. So many moments where Paper X were throwing their bodies into the maw. It's tough watching Paper X because part of their style is that they make the unorthodox play, and it creates value for them because other teams don't know how to approach. It's really hard to make assumptions about a team when you can't get a read on how they're going to play. And so, in some sense, sometimes making not the percentage play is important for the way that Paper X want to run their team. But it's tough when you look at a map like that and you think about all the times where they were just running in on defense.
The day, and we have this amazing one with Gen G and Paper X, and Gen G William takes it.
And kind of getting stuck in a meat grinder.
Isn't over yet.
It's one map.
It is one
Let's
map.
calm down.
Yes, and I will say, even as someone who predicted Gen G, I thought they absolutely needed to win this breeze if they wanted to get a win, no matter if it's a 2-0 or 2-1, because this was the best shot.
They definitely do look less coordinated. There were some plays that you could see that they cooked up, but they didn't look tight with each other. And I think that's one of the big differences, is that when Paper X make suboptimal decisions, when they're going deep in tournaments, they do them together. They're tight with each other. They trade. They overwhelm. They swarm their opponents. And one of the big differences when Paper Regs isn't doing as well, they make some of the same decisions, but they're just not quite as tight with each other. And they just end up trickling a little bit, or it's easier for them to be picked off one by one. But Texture also had a phenomenal performance, but then I don't think Gen G outskilled Paper Regs because Devi was also playing like a monster.
It's just phenomenal performances top to bottom, and Karen even looking way better than what we saw from him versus RQ.
Not to mention, he's having fun. You know, every time the camera cuts to him,
could someone tell me what Monyet's keyboard is? I want to know why he keeps making him teleport towards the enemy. Yeah, dude, Monyet was cooking sometimes there. Monyet was cooking.
3:15 this entire kickoff, so I guess Gen G, it is insane.
It's across 4 matches.
It's a crazy stat. I mean, Achilles and I were talking about it as well, especially for Texture. We've been following him for his entire career in Korea, and while he's always looked like one of the best duelists,
I think I've absorbed these numbers by now. I would like to see the desk. Oh, more numbers. Okay. I mean, at least these are different. Yeah, Devi definitely had a huge amount of late round impact.
And the fact that he's still having these kinds of performances, putting up these kinds of numbers, it's just so damn impressive, and it just tells you what kind of player Texture really is.
Yeah, it was. I think part of the problem too is it wasn't just that Paper Regs were trying to take suboptimal fights on defense. It's that even if they went like 2 for 2, they leave a massive gap open for Gen G to just react into and take a site. And it doesn't matter where on the map they're fighting, that comp the Paper Regs are running can't hold the map in a 4v4 or a 3v3. It can barely hold the map in a 5v5. So anytime you fight aggressive and trade, if you're not winning the fight, you're actually just opening up avenues for the attacking team to get in.
It came down to the microplays. It's just that, you know, somebody swung just a second earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Party EMEA. I can't watch Party every match of EMEA because some of them start to overlap with Americas. But I'm gonna be trying. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing Foot Heretics. I think it starts at 8 AM my time. Texture's been averaging 315 ACS over 4 maps. That's fucking bonkers. Texture's insane. I mean, I feel like genuinely since I don't want to exaggerate, but I think he's been a top-tier duelist in Korea since 2021, and he's just never been on a good team because there's only ever been one good Korean team, really. Was it 2021? I think it was. Back before we even had a proper VCT setup. Did anything happen to the guy with the sign? Yeah, we took him out back and shot him. We actually turned him into glue like a fucking horse. Dude, have you seen Texture's? Yeah, Texture's photo is so funny.
It just didn't look as clean.
It's also because, like, you know, they didn't have Sentinel. They had that, you know, they didn't have that much information to work with.
He looks like he's fucking, he's not quite T-posing, but he's like
suddenly, you know, he
squaring up.
To his team and everything. So I feel like, you know, Paper Regs here.
If I was a black bear, I'd be running away.
Perhaps we're still trying something a little bit here, but given the reaction that we saw from Alex on stage a while ago, maybe not.
I mean, honestly,
do you think Kesnit heard the crowd earlier when he was behind Leaf?
Very different, right? I think this is where we say credit to Gen G.
I'm not really sure, but at the same time, that's.
Look to its maximum potential.
I think that kind of situation is just inevitable. I mean, when there's that much tension, you can't tell the crowd to be quiet. And if Kesnit heard, then Leaf would have heard, and both of those players could have been the one to, you know, turn around or react or something like that. I don't know whether it had an impact, but at the end of the day, genuine situations like that, where the crowd is making noise because they're excited, you can't be mad about. Just part of the game.
I mean, with Lotus on the horizon,
situations where people are deliberately shouting to try to influence the game, that's fucked. And that's where, you know, people will get told off. But that is just, that's just emotion. That's just tension. That happens.
Also, looking at the stats as well, of course, comparing something and texture. The other funny thing is a lot of the Korean fans are always very upset about something because he always performs even better last year when he was facing against Korean teams, right? He's just top ranking, creating highlight reel after highlight reel, and Texture's here to say, no, the buck stop's here, we're back, the Korean duelists are here to stay, and right now, he is absolutely performing above everybody else.
Very true. I mean, on the topic of Korean duelist, you know, Governor, we claim him. He is,
I scream even when there is no flank to misguide them. Wow, incredible. Yeah.
That movement, you know, those headshots, that's basically like, you know, that comes from right here, right? But I do have to commend,
yeah, Crew played a pretty
Rex,
decent game,
we did say
for
that,
sure.
like, you know, okay, probably weren't prepared up against Gen G, but we do have to commend
I'm gonna find it interesting watching Crew and G2 play against EG.
It's things that they used to get away with against other
I mean,
teams that weren't ready
actually,
for that
maybe
pace.
we won't see
But
Crew
once
play
this
against
team is able to
EG,
game
but
and get ready for it, that's pretty haphazard.
I think it's
You're just
fairly
hoping
likely.
that you're going to get the first kill.
Yeah, and it just continued to happen. There were so many of those pushes that were coming through, and it seems like, okay.
I didn't watch the DRX game yesterday because it was late at night for me, so I haven't seen that.
It doesn't happen, but then they just continue to try it, and it just was not working out. But
The worst looking team in America so far might be Furia.
That's right, we are
I don't really agree with that. I don't think that's true. I think Furia looked rough because they were playing against an extremely strong squad. But we'll have to see. Alright, so Paper X are playing double duelist with the Cypher. Okay. That's a standard comp actually for Paper X. It's not that mad. Texture's going to be playing Raze. I think Gen G, they're... Wait, who was I watching that looked fucking goated on this map actually? T1. T1 looks so good on Lotus. They actually look nuts. But I think this comp is good for Gen G as well.
That's the sound of something being tossed and us catching it.
Okay, that's right.
Monyet's played Duelist before. He should be fine. I'm gonna increase this to 1080p. Pray for my PC. Pray for my PC.
Definitely, we're wondering about Forsaken and how effective he can really be. I think he should have studied.
Actually, I guess it's not my PC. It shouldn't take any more. It shouldn't take any more PC power to view a 1080p stream than a 720p, should it? I don't know. I don't know enough about computers. It's a fucking magical box as far as I'm concerned. It does? Oh, okay, fair enough then.
On the Yoru, he was just following some set guidelines. It wasn't the same, something that we were kind of mentioning when he is on that more explosive duelist. And in case I thought Gen G was going to commit on that C site.
This smoke doesn't make too much sense against a Cypher. This smoke makes a lot of sense to try and block off the turret and create some pressure on C. Oh, hello, Karen, getting pressured.
This is a map that Paper X can study game tape off of because Gen G
I'm not huge on leaving lurkers over there so much.
So having an idea,
who was doing that all the time? They were just leaving somebody on the hard lurk. Fuck, all of these teams are blending together in my head.
Here's the fight. They're going to try to go for the pitch very quickly. And Paper X, this B site, there is no solid ground here. It is all quicksand.
I think it was an America's team, and I just can't remember who it was. Clean from Paper X. Karen kind of gave himself away there just a little bit, but it's difficult to anticipate a re-clear there. Normally that kind of play is used as a trap play, where you Sky Flash, Paranoia, re-clear Mound. Normally that's used as a trap play, not as a full re-clear, but yeah.
Ah, there you go. And I do like
Caron, not Karen.
Sorry, I was just getting caught by the replay real quick. I do like how Paper X realizes well that
I'm not sure there's that much difference in the pronunciation in an English accent, is there?
Gen G, you do not want to let go control.
Or is there emphasis on the second syllable? Caron.
Control is so strong, especially now in Lotus, that the door opens very quickly and closes very slowly. So them realizing that, just gives them more opportunities to keep Gen
Is it
G
Caron?
into
It's
the
not
B side, which allows
Caron?
them to flank around much faster.
Again, that's something that PaperX uses very well on the on the defense.
Oh, it's Karen. Dude, I give up. I'm calling him Karen. I'm going to give each of them fun little nicknames. I'm going to call Meteor Molly. So it's Karen, Molly, Mandy, Lucy, and I don't fucking know. Tits McGee. Fuck up. Texture. I don't care. Whatever.
You're about to open that door. Yeah, there's the hot activator.
Tracy. That's what we should have gone for.
Ready and best, but there's too many numbers here. They've committed the fight. They've lost the weapons. And they're losing numbers right now.
Wait, I looked away for a moment, and this was a fucking disaster. Wait, actually, I looked away. Reverse time. What went so wrong here? Just these C players dying to text you with a fucking classic? With a ghost?
They're about to open the door.
They opened the door?
Yeah,
okay.
Ready and best,
oh, Mindfree just got completely overwhelmed after Forsaken went 1-for-1. And then Devi also gets picked up, trying to help the C players. And then Monya gets caught as well. Okay. Yeah, we've seen this. And then something. Two bullets onto Karen, 2 bullets onto Lakia. He gets one shot by the Outlaw, though. Tragedy.
Something's going to be put into such a decrepit state. He might actually just be forced to save.
Yeah, if he got 1 kill, maybe he would have gone for
okay, we can go back to live, I think.
That kill,
that's a tragic round. I feel like the eco win rate at the moment seems to be so high, considering that people are not buying very much into the ecos.
Sorry for not resubscribing earlier in the stream wide egg.
I'm going on to a different point.
I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm not friends with you anymore, Senzi. I wanted your resubscription instantly upon hitting the start streaming button. If I don't get 5 subs right now, I'm turning the stream off. No, thank you for the resub. Appreciate it anyway. Thanks for the 6 months. So they're trying to push people here into Mindfreak. And Devi. We'll see whether they can do anything. Dindin Lover, thank you for the prime. Meteor farming. That's a big ult to get online. He's still fairly far away from it though. Texture's only 1.
Peter's not even going for the headshot there.
Alright, Texture should be chasing this.
I mean, half armor, you want to get a kill, at least something. Create a bit more space for the team. But
to be honest, maybe Texture doesn't even need to chase this because he could get the C ult orb, but I think it would be better. Run to Mario, sizable yeet, Palmy John. Okay, I guess I won't turn the stream off. Alright, thank you all for the subs. I guess I won't turn the stream off. Fuck's sake. Okay, so I've got an idea, chat. On Friday, I don't know if you've realized, but the schedule for VCT this year is diabolical. I'm sure Sliggy's realized. But it's kind of tough to think of when Valorant isn't happening. Last year, if I'm remembering correctly, there was no VCT being played on Tuesdays. Now, I think VCT is happening every single day of the week. Raver Sphinx, thanks for the prime as well. So what I'm thinking of doing is, on my days off, just doing a permanent stream. Where we co-stream, and then I sleep in the background. and then we wake up and do some more co-streaming. Because, I mean, dude, it's just pointing at my fucking hotel bed anyway. And if I have a wet dream while thinking about how loud I'm playing, then, you know, that's really a compliment to Sadak's IGLing, isn't it? Oh, the counter blast pack. Pretty nice.
Texture does get Monyet first. Dust settles 3 versus 3. I mean, what was supposed to do?
So this is the same kind of situation I was talking about before. PaperX, even though they're 3-3 right now, it actually opens a gap for Gen G to react into C. And at least they're going to have the information now because they're playing the Cypher. But these 3v3 situations, because PaperX like to group up during the fights, they just give Gen G the plan.
How have the APAC teams looked from the matches you have watched?
Except for this one really weird off-cam.
Pretty meh. To be honest with you, I mean, it's early days and I haven't watched all the games, so take my opinion with a very large pinch of salt. But I was disappointed in what I saw from Zeta yesterday, even though they won.
There's the NT, not
and
oh,
hello.
Meteor's still holding on, man.
Oh god, Meteor, so sharp.
Oh,
well played by Mindfreak.
Comes up to win. Time is going to be enough to defuse that spike. But man, oh man, if Forsaken didn't pop up there,
so yeah, I think
just before I go into the analysis, can you do that again for
I
me?
think generally.
Really?
No. All right, so I didn't watch DRX play, but I watched T1 looked pretty fucking good actually. I thought T1 on Lotus in particular were cooking. They're the only team though that's really impressed me so far. But again, I haven't watched DRX. Oh yeah, and I didn't watch Talon actually either. You guys are right. I only looked at the stats page because it was happening while I was asleep. So yeah, I might have been really impressed by Talent too. I know, I didn't watch RRQ versus Gen G.
Now,
what a day to be a General G fan.
Seems like we're back.
General G. Why did the text-to-speech woman say that as General G? Meteor has identified the trip setup. Look at this. Look at this. Wait. They're pinging it. They saw it on the cam. Forsaken saw it on the aggressive cam. Forsaken's not watching for it though. What's going on over here? Okay. Forsaken doesn't know if he's walked through... Forsaken doesn't know whether Meteor has walked through Waterfall or CT. So even though he saw him on the cam going into sight, he didn't know which way to look. And so he was really unfavored in the duel. And look at that. They're just... PaperX are over-rotating way too much on defense. They're losing control. Hello. Wait a second. Maybe the judge play works.
He knows someone's right behind him. But since they haven't picked up that spike, he can just be as patient as possible.
Okay. As long as they can deal with something here, Gen G should be in a decent spot.
Not going to do much damage, but he does pick it up. Something's got a cloud burst. He can get closer and closer here. Create that tempo if need be. But the one that's going to have to hold
good double swing from Deviant Mindfreak. Mindfreak won the clutch previously.
They've doubled up onto the corner here. We got a shot at step. He's got a shot at step.
What's he going to do with a shot at step? He's not that mad. Good double up from Gen G.
Too slow, and that's going to be Gen G with a round advantage.
Yeah, these PaperX rounds are kind of tragic on the defense side, honestly. The way that Meteor's just able to walk through, like Meteor knows what the Cypher setup looks like now. He knows that there's only one trap and that he can just walk past it. And he also knows that PaperX are over-rotating like crazy to fight over A. And so C is just super open. It's the most open site of all time.
Jumped around and fired off his judge, thinking that maybe he would be able to buy the attention away. But Gen G
okay, now PaperX are fighting all 5A.
Hard up on stairs, B stairs, up against you know, some of these players from PaperX like Mindfreak, and making sure that they wouldn't be able to push out.
Is Lucky gonna take orb or just get the plant? I guess.
They can rotate elsewhere on the map. They still had.
Yeah, this is gonna be a dull round, I think.
That got the kill on Forsaken here. That's a trade for trade. Something's got the blaze. They're pushing up very aggressively here. Forsaken wants to create more
Wait a second, maybe it's not Wokage.
Up into Waterfall on that flank. 3-3. Gen G's trapped onto the site. Smokes from from Mindfreak to provide some coverage here. Paranoia to delay them just a tad bit further. One satchel pushes right in. Caron holding. Thinking he could be top of the spike.
Something.
Down. Something's gonna have to make something happen here.
Just trying to send it on the right click. Don't think you're ever winning the round with a right click there. Like even if you get a kill, you're just running around with a pistol. So okay, okay. Oh, too late. I already watched Global Esports Data. Too late. It's already happened. I watched it last night. It was like a fever dream, actually, because I was so tired. I was watching it in bed. I was almost delusional. Chat, I'm not bald, so I can't watch this co-stream. Who should I watch instead? Shave your fucking head. Shave your fucking head, you coward. Look at this. Look at this. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
I mean, I'm really curious about the interview. If we do get to talk to PaperX later, like something's definitely off about the form or the mood in the team right now. It's not.
How much do you think Jing boosts the chances of PaperX against other teams? What you mean? It's a weird way of phrasing the question, but do you just mean how much better was the version of the roster with Jing? Jing's an unusual player. He's extraordinarily skilled. His sense of timing and when to be aggressive was very highly refined, but he had an odd agent pool and a very aggressive style. I thought PaperX might be able to broaden their playbook a little bit with Monyet in, but actually what we're seeing is just PaperX are trying odd comps that they never would have done with different agents because they're playing with Monyet, but also they're just still trying to play the same kind of style. And I think that style was better with Jing because of the way that Jing plays. Monyet was so good at extracting value from a somewhat standard playstyle on global. Alright, so we've got 3 players over towards A. They've also got the op playing in front of the Cypher setup, so that seems really weird to me from PaperX. Nightfall in, over towards A. Here comes Texture. PaperX are going to have to play off-site, go for the retake. They don't really have the tools to be able to play for retake. Look at that. Way. Okay, a bit of damage onto Monyet, but that can get healed up. How do you retake here, though? Because something's opping. Oh, well, that'll help. No need for Meteor to take that fight. Meteor should have been playing for the late round. Like, deep in the Plost plant. Plost plant? Pleast plant. What? They just decided not to shoot at each other there. Good nade. There's no way. I think Texture still wins this. They're so weak. Oh, he didn't. That's so sharp from Devi. God damn. Meteor threw his life away in the post plant then. If he had stayed alive, I think there's a chance. I'm not exactly sure how PaperX were frankly able to make that one work, because they barely had any utility to be able to work with. But I think that's demonstrating how good PaperX can be when they play tight with each other. Also, that doesn't hurt, does it? Smoke Criminal. That's a really sharp trade kill.
Then we see the PaperX fold. The PaperX that we're all familiar with. We need more of that, though. I mean,
how are you feeling about the Initiator meta right now? It seems like it's in a pretty good spot. I'm surprised so many people are playing Solo Sky. Doesn't seem great to me. Would Jorgamo have been a better as a replacement for Jing? I mean, genuinely, yes. I think so. Jorg is a maniac. I think he would have fit perfectly.
He's put himself the one-way smoke on Tree here to give him some form of anchoring spot. Thankfully enough, no one's gotten very close into challenging him.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a hypothetical universe, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to actually play because something is already an import, but yeah.
Wanted to create pro ECT Valorant content as a newbie.
Nips McNuggets, thank you for the 6 months. Yeah, I saw that Zenyatta is apparently crazy OP now that they've changed the hitboxes to be enormous in Overwatch. What advice would you give someone who wanted to create pro or VCT Valorant content as a newbie? Do you mean newbie to the game? Because I would say probably don't. But, I mean, if you mean newbie to content creation, there's tons of stuff that isn't being done very well right now.
This is what we want to see from PaperX. This is the PaperX we need.
It depends what your strengths are. I think the best advice I could give you is stick to your strengths and pick some niche that you think isn't being fulfilled that you could fulfill, and work on improving your skills in whatever it is. Like, say you wanted to do narrative videos that are like scripted out, then really work on your storytelling. Or if you want to do some like heavily edited videos, then work on your editing. Like, it's a bit too vague because the concept of content creation is just enormous, almost infinite. All right, so They've got something now playing over towards B with this operator, and Devi... I mean, this looks like a more sensible defensive setup from PaperX. They have an AWP, they have an initiator to help the AWP, they have the Cypher jiggle peek in and then can fall back behind their setup.
The factors of how they push up into a site is pretty huge. I will say, though, I don't think I've seen Forsaken be
Jorgama's not an import. He is, because he's declared himself a America's player. He would have to play at least one season as an import before he could change to being a Pacific player. People with dual residency can't just flip-flop between regions. If they count themselves as a domestic in one league, then that sticks until they've played at least one season, or at least half a season. I can't remember the exact rule at this point, but it's like a significant period of time as an import.
Look at this, though. Gen G can actually go for that link, and if something is too slow,
okay. Normally you expect something to hit that. Monyet instantly in to try to stop the reaction from happening. Nice, really quick. PaperX relying on their instant reactions.
Even though something falls, PaperX were very quick to adapt and to respond to the offensive change.
It's 2. Something is still an import. But does something have residency
Not quite the one that we got from before,
in
but you know, still good.
All right, stop
APAC?
chasing, stop hunting it. You'll get it when there is a well-deserving.
It's Amike. Thank you for the sub.
That something had. I mean, I would have thought at least you would be able to secure at least one off kill, right? But the rest of the team reacted.
Like, why would something ever become a domestic player?
That's why you got to have this.
It's whether you're legally allowed permanent residency in the region. He will have 2 years residency after this year and will no longer be an import. No, that's not how it works. He needs permanent residency in a legal sense in one of the countries in the Pacific region.
Of course, though, Gen G now starting to feel the pressure. They call themselves a timeout.
Yeah, and if I could just add,
So, like, for example, he would have to have, I don't know, like, the ability to permanently reside in Singapore or something in order to apply to become a domestic player in Pacific. Can't Russia be Asia? Russia's counted as, well, actually, I'm not 100% sure about that rule, but I think Russia is counted as EMEA. I think just the entirety of the country. Which, yeah, it doesn't make too much sense, does it? Because the eastern side of Russia does tend to participate on, like, Tokyo servers and stuff. Macandam, thank you for the 53 months. That's an initial qualification. They also have a rule where you do become not an import if you live there, pretty sure? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's based on legal. I looked into it a while back. I don't think you just become by living there. It's based on your ability to be a permanent resident. Because, like, something, for example, needs a work visa in order to live in those countries. He can't just fucking vibe in Pacific for the rest of his life.
I mean, this is a round where PaperX has some guns. Gen G, on the other hand, it's more of a half-ish.
But yeah, I mean, these rules, you don't have to worry about them unless you're a GM. They're above the fans' pay grade.
They want to suss out information and get a feel for how PaperX is defending this time. But something's not
oh my god, oh my god, Monyet had no idea that he was about to swing into a bajillion people there.
Something's gonna back away, retreat, danger, alert. That nade clearing up once again. Not big damage.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zenzo. I agree.
Closing and opening.
Okay, so
don't know how many players
they've gone 1 for 1.
Have already exited. How many players are still
once again, PaperX are trying to cheat over towards B and A. Something's trying to play really aggressive in this spot, and got Meteor, fantastic awareness to be able to pick up the stairs push. After being able to pick off something, you would expect him to scale into the site. What is going on here? What is going on here? The lockdown's destroyed. And Karen, what? He's just sticking the plant. What the hell's going on there?
But guess what? Here comes Forsaken and the spike plant goes down.
The Guardian skill is bonkers from Meteor.
Might not be the Guardians.
Oh!
But he is the Guardian of Lotus.
Oh, what the hell am I watching? Putting Meteor onto Killjoy where he can't feed but he can still frag. Great decision. Great decision. Yeah, Lakia was alive that entire time, by the way, just fucking vibing. Lakia was just vibing, watching B. Just fucking chilling. Just not really doing much. Just yo, go kill them all, Meteor. Kill them all.
Meteor is the one that, you know, they weren't really expecting to be there. And because of his sharpshooting, he's able to pick off their heads just like that. Something wasn't quite able to deal with him, and that's something that I definitely did not expect. I want to see something.
So Paper X have been doing a lot of cheating towards B and A, leaving C totally open, just defended by the Killjoy, the Cypher utility.
Abilities that can really flush you out as
Gen G punished it in a couple of rounds, but most of what they're doing is just slowly applying pressure and waiting for one of the Paper X players to make a mistake.
Smokes, paranoia. There's a whole slurry of non-flash abilities.
I think a little bit of A pressure here to push away something, and then instantly rotate C and explode C with the Raze ult would be a very nice call. No utility used to try to push away a potential AWPer. Lakia was like 3 seconds away from getting his haunt back, and they just were like, nah, I'll just swing.
Ready for that. But here comes something.
Still no haunt being used. Still no haunt being used. Sure, we'll just frag. We'll just hold.
Monyet's now trapped here on drop. That haunt supposedly giving away position, but somehow for
yeah, not big on how Gen G played this round. I think they had way better tools at their disposal to try to push back Gen G, to try to push back Paper X. And I also think that they should have been trying to just run a push back the AWPer and explode on the other side of the map. But instead they just tried to drive through them.
And if you're thinking about it, I mean, something maybe didn't quite get the kills, but at least bought enough time.
He threw the haunt on one of the walls above pit, I believe. That's the thing that looked like it flew out the map. Personally, I hit those. That's what Gen G was thinking as well. They just came off the back of Meteor banging people out, and they were like, nah, I'll just kill them all. And no high trip to try to deal with. Oh my god. Extraordinarily bold from Divide, but also the rest of Paper X, very bold too. Utilizing that paranoia, utilizing the flash, immediately flooding out through the smoke. That's the other thing with Paper X, right? They are so fucking confident in these kind of situations. I think they play these kind of situations so nicely. Because there's only one rocket, right? Texture can only kill people in one choke point out of 3. So if you just fucking run at them with flashes, worst case scenario, you're going to be -1 and killing all the people that are trying to flood in behind Texture. So it looks a bit daft when Divide dies to the ult, but everybody else just instantly backfills.
They can pick up the pistol, that would be even better. But of course, Gen G has been showing us such a dominant performance today. I mean, these guys aren't buckled by anything.
Yeah, just triple swing.
Absolutely.
So 7-5 the half.
It feels like I can't really say
I don't really like the way that either team were playing particularly.
Because it's the whole team. You know, it's how well they're able to play off.
There were some big moments from individuals, but I don't think either team's looking anywhere near as good as T1 on this map so far.
I will say, I mean, like, if not for that, you know, previous map we might have seen Texture popping off like crazy.
But let's see Paper X on the attack side. I think it's going to be really tough for Gen G to hold on to C control against the Jet Rays. There's so many different ways that the double dive can path in onto C. The reflection on your head makes you look like a light bulb. It's not a reflection, mate. My brain's working so hard, I'm actually exuding light. It's Hawking radiation. And they call it that because I'm as smart as Stephen Hawking.
And boy, oh boy, he's 13-9-3 here coming into this second half.
Okay, so 4 players from Gen G ready to fight over A control at the start of this round. Do you think Paper X back off? Oh, for fuck's sake. Dude, these headphones, when I take them off for a moment, they pause the bloody thing that I'm watching. Alright, well, we'll catch up in a sec.
Finals last year, and then, of course, going to Champions as well. I don't need to introduce them. Everyone knows.
Yeah, how much effort with both teams actually fight for Rubble here?
Does Paper X give an inch? Do they back off for a moment? Oh, big paranoia. And the nade. Oh, that is so nice. The little collapse from Gen G. I like it. I like it.
Where'd that flick come from?
They threw out a vulnerable, a nade, a paranoia. Then they pushed forwards with, I think, a prowler. And they fisted him.
4 versus 1. He's repositioning around the corner here.
One fist, 5 holds.
I wonder if there's a world where Meteor tries to stab Mind Freak here if he over pushes or doesn't even check the corner. But no. Play it safe.
Current teams now.
And by 5 holes, what I mean is the 2 nostrils, the mouth, and the 2 ears. And the fist hit them in the face. That's what I was referring to.
They know the setups. And I do kind of have a feeling that this is something that Gen G had prepared. Studying game tape
that's nice.
Before, knowing that this is definitely something that we want to go for, right? This rubble control, it's so useful, gives you legs to have that option towards A or mid link if you want to, set up split pushes. They want to deny that. And that one nade from Texture, not to mention Lakia and Texture pushing in together, just...
So now more of a standard setup from Gen G, just a control play for rebel control, rather than a trap setup. Paper Rex are going to flood towards B, open things up, see if they could catch anybody that was playing aggressive towards C. Here comes a little bit of a dive, trying to coordinate together with the double jumping classic. There's a nice little duo play set up between the 2 duelists. And instantly Monier goes for the feed. Devi though trades. Not winnable for something. Not winnable. It's not winnable. Guys, we're going to turn the stream off right now because this isn't winnable. No. No.
But wait, does that angle actually work?
No.
It's very risk, so he has to try to do something here. Oh my god. Oh, he even got the
he was about 30 milliseconds away from hitting that shot. Oh.
Something overdoing it, going back.
Holy.
It was for the information, but he kind of overheated in that situation too.
Really close. I mean, at least had the right idea to tailwind out of that hairy situation and to play for time a little bit, trying to distract Munchkin. But, I mean, Lakia. As soon as Lakia goes in, though, just knowing to crouch and to keep his head tucked under.
Something picks up an outlaw.
Lakia is not always like
every single player on Gen G is one shot.
In some situations, knows exactly what to do, has enough experience.
Yeah. He's got a good head on his shoulders for sure. Something challenging here.
Nah, I'd miss those.
It's tagged up.
Me too, something. Me too.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We casted Lakia last year, right, on Ascension Pacific.
Yeah.
Where he was on
Kia.
Damwon Kia. Did not really get any opportunity to really showcase what he's got there. But the Gen G here.
So they're throwing this smoke from Mind Freak over towards C, thinking that they're blocking the turret, but they're not. Because Meteor's put the turret in the new spot on C, where you can play it in the opposite corner. So Meteor's playing like a full anchor, hard anchor, over towards C. Which is a lot of pressure if they end up diving on him with both duelists, but
they kind of relinquish A, which means it's going to be a tough.
It also requires Gen G to be playing B fairly heavily, which is why A is so weak. Because they can't just leave B with a single alarm bot. But yeah, like I said, everybody's one shot.
They don't really need to stay inside of the site. They can be proactive as much as they would want to.
Yeah, not a great off angle there for something. The person contesting him always sees him earlier. But he was just trying to mix up what angles he was playing on.
Damage that they can really do in this round.
Onion, thank you for the 28 months.
Barrel peeking out. But
Probably
that,
is.
Again, yeah, it's just Karen still.
And you know, it's that nerd talk about line of sight. You get closer into a corner. You can see your opponent faster than they do. We're not going to get deep into that.
34 degrees here in the corner of the wall.
CLDR, guys. The closer you are to a wall when you peek a corner, the worse it is for you.
Great
the farther you are
casting
from a wall
pass,
when you
few
peek
days
a corner,
copy.
the better it is for you.
Thank you, George Bush, 420 Epic.
But yeah, still, a round picked up by PaperX.
You sound like a serious bloke, someone I should respect the opinion of.
But Gen G has definitely caught up, winning out that pistol in the subsequent round after that.
Oh yeah, I was behind though, wasn't I? Because my headphones fucking paused the stream. Don't worry, we'll catch back up. There we go.
The game really starts to rev up.
Now we can watch the timeout, perfectly synced with the main broadcast. What a quality of life improvement.
Did we come into this day thinking that it would be this?
Well done, chat.
between PaperX.
Happy Mister, thank you for the 42 months.
Yeah, sure.
How many of us voted for, predicted PaperX would win?
All of us except for William.
Except for Will.
Truly is the Will I am. Will he? Or will he not?
Hello, player Solver. Hello, hello. Do you prefer the Cypher or the Killjoy with the map changes? I'm not sure. I haven't watched enough of the Pro Lotus stuff yet. I think there might even be an argument for running Chamber here. Or possibly Chamber plus something else. But in my ranked games, I've been enjoying running Cypher more. And part of the reason for that is that it feels quite uncomfortable playing Killjoy, because if you put your alarm bot down on B and then you try to put your turret down on C, you're not able to hard anchor from the back of the site. They've made anchoring from back sight on C really nice now. I mean, super good. But the problem is you can't actually do that as Killjoy while still keeping an alarm bot or a turret active on B. So that feels pretty shite. And for that reason, I've started playing more Cypher on this map. But I'm not sure what the pro teams are going to do. Because also, running Killjoy on A with this kind of setup that Meteor's currently got is also super good. And then you can have your, like, yeah, I mean, like Munchkin's got the Viper kind of hard anchor, or you can run Duelists and an Omen playing aggressive towards Mound. Black here. He just opens the door and picks up 2.
The door opens so quickly that you can't really sometimes react to.
I think, though, that PaperX have still got plenty of chances of winning this round. Partly because of the Raze ult, and partly because if something pops knives, I've seen miracles happen.
I do like this because, again, you don't want to play
the closest I've been to giving up on atheism.
Munch is going to be first on the pedestal.
Here we go. Munchkin. Here goes for the swing. And he's dead. And now, rifle in hand. Oh, Monier doesn't find anything with the ult, though. But yeah, something's kind of farming. He's just trying to catch them on the transition in. He knows they're going to try and follow up on Lucky's ult. Who's going to follow up on the Forsaken swing? All right, Monier over the top with the fucking shorty. Okay, all right. Nicely done by PaperX, yeah.
That's going to be the 97 for PaperX here.
Yeah, great solve on the C side.
Not like something has skipped a beat. Certainly hasn't.
Utility, Divide with a guiding light as well, and just pushes Munchkin away enough for something to get into position to do things like this. I mean, he was really a lot more calm.
Yeah, I can't do the funny circles on the stream right now because I haven't got it set up. I mean, I could. It'd take me literally 20 seconds, but I don't want to do that.
Much more easy for PaperX to defend post-plant.
Yeah, but again, Gen.G showing the same thing that they
Meteor.
brought up here from that Freeze map, which
there are so many threats on different off angles here. Look at this. Here comes Meteor. Oh, he doesn't go for the pick. I really thought Meteor was going to try and contest that with his Marshall. There's another big shot. And now the ult. Oh, the outplay. Oh, the fucking TikTok outplay coming out from Mindfreak. Dude, these shots are absurd. 2 huge Sheriff shots. And then Marshall's to the body. Something's going weird with these eco rounds, man. There are so many eco rounds being won. The eco round win rate globally must be the highest it's been in all time. I don't know. It feels outrageous.
Once again, starting to get their own.
It feels so high.
Things are starting to go. You know that Gen.G is on an eco, and you're like,
isn't that weird with the Outlaw? Yeah, it is really weird.
It just hurts, man. Yeah.
I've seen plenty of second rounds where people buy like 4 classics and a ghost, and then they're winning. It's very unusual.
Nearing his showstopper, so they wanted to try to go for BRC. Again, the adaptability of that is very quick. You can rotate either way because you have control of the door, but they somehow get pinched in transition of that, and we see...
Yeah, I mean, I think the utility usage is the thing. I think that the util usage to be able to isolate individuals that have a rifle or a, you know, bulldog or something, and then the teams are able to snowball that one pick into many picks. But it's not just that, because also you're seeing people hit like crazy shots with sheriffs or I swear the Loud players were just banging people out with classics too. I don't know. I would have to look at the rounds more, but it certainly feels like an anomaly.
You've got a noted back on Forsaken. Something on that op again. But on the attack.
It might just be that the discipline is lower at the start of the season too. And those kind of protocols get built over the course of the year. So something's going to pick up the attack op.
Just a few seconds here, Quack.
That's a nice cam. Just clearing the whole of that left area. So you don't have to worry about it. I do like the Cypher on the attack side. I think it's really good. I think it's got a lot of utility that the Killjoy just simply doesn't offer.
Munchkin just ready to welcome them with open arms on the other side of Link.
Dexter's trying to delay as much as he can at the back of the site.
Big entry from Monyet. That's what I'm talking about. Monyet. That's huge.
Control that Paper Rex has gotten on that A. Spike will get planted. It's all about the retake here for Gen G. Okay, Divide does find Munchkin here, making it a more palatable.
Lucky's cleared rubble. They know that they just have to focus forwards. Forsaken just ruined Lucky when he hit the switch. You fucking mowed him down. Oh. Why am I up at this hour? It's only midnight. I have been going to bed at about midnight.
But yeah, that's always funny when you
my intention was to have my sleep schedule that I woke up at 6 a.m., went to the gym for an hour, and then got on with my day. I did that the first day that I arrived. Then the second day that I arrived, I woke up at 7 a.m., and I still went to the gym for an hour.
It's such a huge power play for you to be.
Then the next day, I slept until 8 a.m. and didn't go to the gym. Then today I slept until 8 a.m. and didn't go to the gym again. So we kind of fucked it. But we're gonna try and fix it. We're gonna try and fix it. Another nice punish. Making sure that they don't get caught by all of Gen G's utility, flip the tables on them, catch the player who's dashing away, and get into post plants. Whoa, not good pathing from Mon yet. He didn't know where he wanted to be in the post plant. He walked off site, and then he walked back on, just crossing heaven.
This makes the long range fights a little bit more palatable here for Paper Rex. Haunt does give away his position. They use that Haunt to actually get closer.
Oh, that is so clutch from Forsaken. Incredibly clutch.
Something now gets Meteor 2 versus 1. That box not really giving too many.
I don't see how Paper Rex lose this. With the right click, not that that's even required, but one in the front and one in the back. That's how I like it.
Killjoy lockdown. Gen G got a bit of space, but the setup
pincer attempts are important.
That good, and that's always the thing about, you know, the A site. You've got tree that you can hold out from. You've got
guys, by the way, did you see Golden Boy's face during the throat goat incident today? It makes for an amazing emote.
And when Paper Rex are having fun, you know,
an incredible emote.
And I'm having fun.
I think it would be a very good replacement for the heart emote. If anyone has a link to the image, I saw somebody posted it as a comment on Reddit.
You know, open the door, get tripped up, see what happens.
He tweeted it? Oh, it's so good. If someone can add that as like a better Twitch TV or 7TV emote or something, that'd be so good.
Into the opposition right now, but Divide realizes that he has to come pinch in for his teammates. Oh my god. Again,
what a play. Dude, Paper X are creative and flashy. Ooh, something was moving there as he shot.
Reposition quickly. Now they know. Meteor's position exposed. He's only got a Marshall in his hand here, Quack, and
is this the link from Ozcore?
Paper X will be on map point. Wow, okay, okay.
Oh my god, almost. Is this it?
That we saw from Gen G last year, doing things with the Marshall, but still, I mean, when you think about it, Paper X the books.
Dude, Don't you think that would make... I guess it doesn't really capture the emotion of, huh? It captures more the emotion of, like, I fucked up. It's such an amazing I fucked up face. It's so good. Yeah, it's regret. It is the face of regret. If someone wants to make the greatest regret emote, that's it. Alright, big fight again. Teleport up from Karon. Takes out something. So it's a great way to start the round for Gen G. With their backs against the wall. Devi is one away from getting his ult online. The Seekers, they could slow this round down. They can take their time here. Take the orb. Go back, push Karon away. Okay, they're just going to send it. Vulnerable, though. It's really difficult to get in onto C when the Viper and the Killjoy are there anchoring. It's so difficult. I think Paper X should have slowed that one down and tried to use the Seekers after pushing Karon away and drawing some rotates to A.
Really just makes it difficult for them to gain any
way too much. There's so much delaying that the rest of the Paper X members on the other side, if they go into this, it's not.
Can you imagine how dangerous Paper X would be if they seriously added some slower pace to their game? They do occasionally pull it out, usually at the international tournaments, but they could be so deadly by mixing their pace up a bit more in matches like this.
For Gen G, Texter's now gonna have himself the sniper in hand.
Is this the 70V emote?
What happened here?
Have you made it already?
Yes, there it is. Karon getting that quick rubble control.
See, that's pretty good, but I think we can do a tighter crop here, surely. There's so few pixels in the 34x32 version. I think it needs a zoom in. I appreciate the pace with which you created that, but I think it needs a little zoom. Enhance? Guys, enhance? Me, on my keyboard, hacking. Enhance? Guys, enhance?
Ooh, Karon, where did he come from? Picks up the 2K. There's the quick flash from the buy. Okay, oh,
what the fuck? Okay, so now Paper X are going to have rifles again. So this has gone... Chances are disappearing, but they are pulling ultimates out from Gen G, and Paper X now have rifles again. So, oh, Texture's got an op. Oh yeah, he already had the op, didn't he? Yeah, yeah.
All of them are giving ideas as to how they want to approach the map or figure out ways to deal with Gen G.
Okay. So, Gen G's composition is really good for fighting over rubble. I wouldn't advise fighting rubble. I think Paper X want to be taking C control at the beginning of the game, and then retaking rubble later on. Looks like that's what they're roughly going for. Where's this camera going? Okay, so this is fine. Forsaken's just got to stay alive. They should go and take some other piece of map control, and then go back to push Karon away in the mid-round.
Anchor this by himself from the looks of things that will allow Paper
X are pretty slow here. They're expecting Gen G to be aggressive in other portions of the map.
They haven't really done this kind of slower approach at all in this map.
Okay, they kind of took mound control.
There's not that much control.
Now they need to push Karon away.
One-way smokes are all being
I think Mindfreak having a smoke on top of rubble here is really effective at pushing people off. Alright, Karon gets pushed away. Now this is where you pause the round and head somewhere else. This is where Paper X should pause the round and not commit into A. This is where something should run into A and kill everybody.
Showstopper activated. Does that stop the plant on the spike? Yes, it will be. But it's trade for trade here, Quack. It's not the end of the world. Something repositions almost get...
The spike is also down on the floor. Oh, something is just a cheat code. It's like watching Aspas play.
There's the plant on the spike, 2 versus 1 for
just filling in all of the mistakes of his team.
A miracle worker at this point. They're backing up into the
that's a bullshit round. That's just a bullshit round. That's
I mean, in that last round, you can feel almost that tension, the rage that's
okay, fair enough. Great calling. Great calling from PaperX there. Great calling.
It was a great setup that Gen G had, a brilliant idea, you know, playing...
PaperX truly are the bane of analysts everywhere. There's a certain subsection of the community that's like, this lineup here, this correct way to play the game there. You get shot, you die. You get shot, you lose the round. It's an FPS game. If you want that, go and play fucking Overwatch. Go and play League of Legends. Maybe I got into the wrong game. Man, maybe I got into the wrong fucking game. Maybe I should start trying to get into LCS instead or something, dude. I'm losing my mind watching this.
This is a much better effort from the side of PaperX. I mean, you can see 14 first kills there for the side of Gen G, only able to get those 10-round wins. It's another 13-10 scoreline, and now we go to map number 3. So we're going to get a nice little zoom in here on
those kind of rounds.
To see how they are
Yeah, it's just an out skill factor. Something genuinely just ran around and killed everybody to get them over the line towards the end there. I don't think either of these teams looked as good as T1.
Yeah, I mean, any of these, there was
I don't really like the way that PaperX played it. And I think that Gen G could certainly optimize their play a little more heavily, especially on the attack side, actually.
Either the pistol or the anti-eco consistently throughout the series. If it wasn't for that, this would actually be a much wider score gap.
Yeah, very true. I think that's a weakness that absolutely needs to be shored up. I'm sure Alex has written many a page worth of notes in regards to that one, because I mean we did see the force buy at one point as well from Gen G that also caught them off guard. So they need to be better prepared for things like that.
Microsoft Excel? Yeah, maybe I should look into the Microsoft Excel. Wait, what the hell are these? Sorry, let me have a. People are pinging me late at night. What's going on here? RJ atting me in the Genshin Honkai channel in my Discord.
Constantly spam it so they can keep creeping up. So it's not just the double controllers, but it's the fact that they are not only clearing angles, but making so much noise that you have to respect the Odin. You just keep backing up, and a couple of those rounds they basically took over all the way right up to E site simply through Odin spams.
You know what? I think that, like, okay, PaperX did win this
Dude,
map, but
people in the Genshin Honkai channel in my Discord talking about James Dean. Someone doesn't know who he is. They get described as America's Princess Diana. Someone else says, who the fuck is Princess Diana? So you know BTS Jungkook? Princess Diana is his previous incarnation? What the fuck is going on in here? Dude, there is a reason that I don't look in this channel. There's a very good reason I don't look in this channel. And it's because I don't understand what's happening in there.
Across the board between both of these squads. I mean, Meteor having a hell of a time, but Charon, I mean, good God, it doesn't feel like he went 16 and 16, you know, just a net neutral when it comes down to the KD, because there were so many great moments where he was the one that was saving them. That 4K that he had just a couple rounds towards the end there, Texture as well, putting up significant numbers. That continues here with this trend from Gen G. So going into Sunset, I really don't know what to expect, because I need to see what Gen G
Kurt asked me a plat chat question, so I'm going to respond to Kurt.
PaperX has been able to improve what we saw from them at AVL.
There is a worrying trend here for Texture.
And my wife has messaged me, but I'm not going to respond to my wife.
And I know this sounds like a joke, but this has always been the trend for
Which sounds like the wrong priority, doesn't it? But I'll talk to her later. That's not base chat. That's bad communication.
If he wasn't fragging and carrying the team, it was very tough for them to kind of close things out. And yes,
I feel like if you're young, it's pretty reasonable not to know who Princess Diana is. I swear, Americans care about Princess Diana more than the fucking English do.
That would concern me a little bit.
So it's kind of like he's at 100% or not at all.
Well, yes. In terms of results. Yes, in terms of results, absolutely. But both times, I mean, even last
Why is Killjoy such a... What was that question? Why is Killjoy such an MVP and dominant force on Lotus? Well, we were having a discussion about this earlier, and I'm not sure that she is going to be honest. I think some teams might be experimenting with Cypher or Chamber.
Yeah, I think that Meteor here was definitely...
We love our conspiracies. Yeah, I think Americans also just kind of fantasize about having a royal family. It seems very medieval and cool to a lot of Americans. when most people in Britain could not give less of a fuck.
The Marshal especially, something he just demands respect when he is wielding that weapon.
Yeah, I'm casting one of the elimination games tomorrow. Yeah.
Something though with some great moments throughout this. You know,
yeah, RJ isn't American, but
on the first map, it definitely had its hitches.
Yes.
But here, back to maximum comfort, you can see he was going.
I've had a lot of conversations with American people who want to talk with me about the monarchy.
And I like that you're seeing that.
And I have nothing to offer in those conversations.
To remind us of what we saw last year when he got that MVP in VCT Pacific. But again, it's not as consistent as we're used to seeing throughout the 2023 season.
That's the thing, you know, you see the adjustment come
in. Are we good now? Let's have a look at this.
There, right? Taking over the reins of the
South Americans, even more in older generations, adore Princess Diana?
Sometimes,
really?
You know, the coordination isn't quite there, but towards the end, towards the later half of that map, I do feel like, okay, they were in
this
sync,
is worse. I would say this version of the emote is the worst one that you've made so far. It doesn't even resemble what we started with. I can't even tell it's Golden Boy. It's like you didn't even try.
Bringing it onto the stage.
You're fired.
First time is something very different compared to running something behind the scenes.
So now, obviously, we go to Sunset, and that's the big question, is that when they played it at AVL, it was Jin coming in to play that Raze, right? And they were swapping out Mind Freak a couple of times here and there, and they were really swapping up the roles. So now, I mean, first of all,
what am I waiting for here?
But then also,
what am I waiting for here?
The Raze to try to break open sites and go for those retakes, because then we're gonna have to start questioning.
Okay, maybe we'll open that later. We'll open that later.
Or is Manyet's confidence going to be enough to actually carry them into the win?
I think with the performance that he just had there on Lotus, he should be feeling pretty confident in his Raze performance. I think that he'll be fine to
maybe lower the stream quality. It might load. You're a fucking genius. You're actually a fucking genius. Let's put this into 144p. Great look, actually. Great look. Let's put this. You can't even tell who these people are. All right, 144p. Now this will load.
That's scary with PaperX, because again, we're dealing with a team that is very, very flexible, right? And what they showed during the off-season tournaments may not be exactly what they have planned specifically for Gen G. And as for Gen G,
okay, we need to extract even more. What do we do? Okay, play it back in quarter speed. That'll use quarter of the power.
Especially since, as we saw the coaches.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I need to play it at higher speeds in order to access more of the internet connection.
And I do think that, you know, for Gen G, they're riding on a lot of momentum right now. Yes, they did lose that previous map, but it didn't feel like, you know, that was a very close scoreline. It's been 13-10 for both maps so far.
Yes, so I think the biggest thing for Gen G is obviously, it's not necessarily that you're getting like run over through firepower. Yeah. They've been having a lot of pride about, we know that we're very strong mechanically, we know we can fight back individually. Okay, they've proven that time and time again so far in both matches, and especially if you are keeping up with PaperX here in Pacific in that regard, that is very good news. Now, when it comes to Sunset, sure, there's not much to go off of, but they
turn your camera and stream quality down as well. Ah, fuck, was that the problem? Shit. Okay. All right. Jesus. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try.
At these map highlights that we have, right? You know, you see these rounds come down to very individual performances here, and you know,
we'll turn down the
single out Caron, who was just so amazing, and Achilles, we're pointing out how, like, you know, this kid, he's definitely making his mark. He's so consistent as well.
Yeah, he really is. It's been so very impressive.
It's time to try.
Again, you know, a little bit of a slow start in the
fuck, what else can I turn down? What else can I turn down? What other quality can we turn down?
This time he started at 11.
Turn down the microphone as well? Wait, genius. You're a fucking genius. You're a genius.
And big reason why you're able to take away reason that continue going in towards Lotus.
I don't know how to do that.
Well,
I don't know how to do that.
his timing.
Okay, what about if I did this? What about if I did this? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Perfect. Okay, let's try it. I can't believe that didn't work. I genuinely can't believe that didn't work. Oh fuck! It kept all of my changes to my camera.
You know, a star player in for.
It kept all of my changes to my camera.
Of Gen G might not be able to blot out completely.
Wait, what the fuck is going on here? Oh my god, we're in the game already. Jesus Christ.
The Vi was almost taken down, but the separation though does allow them to get the pickup onto Munchkin. Now, the rest of Paper X is going to be holding back the site.
Ooh, mind freak.
Oh! Gen G not in a comfortable spot, and they're just going to have to try to wiggle.
The flood into back site is working pretty well. Meteor's so weak. He's not going to be able to win this. I mean, these players are so weak. One bullet on anyone gets the kill. Alright, let's have a look at these compositions. So we've got a no duelist composition coming out from Paper X, but a very different version of the no duelist comp. They're still playing double smokes, but then they're adding in a sage to it instead of like a chamber, compared to the way the crew was playing things. And then Gen G are running a more standard version, except the solo Sky is also still a bit weird to me.
And that's the Paper X that we see.
At least for these next couple of rounds, before Gen G gets those rifles, the Sage Wall is going to be somewhat harder to break down, so there should be a lot more safer position for Paper X to drop it in. Don't worry about that angle for a good chunk of the round and just be safe. Anyways, Forsaken, Outlaw, Contact, success. Actually, very successful. 3 kills for the price of 2 bullets.
Yo.
Very, very good start here for Forsaken.
That's, what, 300% success rate? No, that's terrible math.
What the fuck have I... Dude, I don't know how to fix my camera, man. I don't know how to fix my camera.
Because we have phones that have calculators, and you can check it.
Good save, good save. That said, yes, I mean, we do have calculators. We have, you know, the credit score being, you know, calculated for us. Forsaken getting a lot of those frags, and it's immediately...
That is not back to normal, is it? That's nowhere near back to normal.
Also, towards the last kill, on towards Karen, they kind of knew that this would be where Gen G...
That's horrendous.
It's just a good check.
What have I done?
Nonetheless. So, interestingly enough, we're
wait. We're there.
And a Sage Wall that boosts them up. That's what the Outlaw and the
I think we're there.
Sage is for.
I think that's close enough. It doesn't look good, but it's close enough. I look like a corpse. What have I done?
Byproduct of just blocking off a certain pathway that Gen G will have to break or wait for it to break. Which, as you can see, forces Gen G to be a whole lot more respectful of just, you know, pushing up into these certain positions.
Default.
Meteor. Boot spotted.
Yeah, they don't want to
oh my god,
their
there's a default button.
Full buy run all that quick, right? They don't want to give the bonus over to Paper X, and so just trying to be very careful off of it, cut noise, and then the execution through.
Genius.
Texture getting this first
Chat, can I hire you all for tech support long term?
They have more options, not to mention Munchkin making use of tiles to walk up front on mid.
Did they close the door on Market, though? That's still open, isn't it not? Okay, there you go. It's still closed up.
So here comes that lurk through mid potentially from Munchkin. That's one of the things that was working really well that crew were throwing in against G2.
Or just letting Paper X cook for the moment, but since they have to, some of their players have to go for the half shields.
What? Yeah, I mean, Gen G have just been owned here by the Outlaw.
Texture's already here in the front lines, and
huge shots. Oh my god, genuinely. What is going on? Forsaken's about to ace.
So many weapons. This man is an absolute Inspector Gadget.
Something's only just got the rotate in.
Can't reload. Oh, man. He's waiting for his teammate, though. He's waiting for something.
Go, little wingman, go.
Dude,
what?
Oh, no, the stun.
That's
Wait, he actually loses. He does not, Charon.
There's no way the Forsaken kills 4, and then they can't win the 2v1 after Charon is fighting Wingman. Charon is fighting Wingman like he's fighting his fucking demons, and they couldn't get the kill on him.
Just trying to play carefully around mid as well.
What? How's he managed that? How have they all managed that? What is going on here? Okay, but now Forsaken's bought the Outlaw again, knowing that 4 of them have light armor. So there are still 4 Gen G players who are one-shot. Well, now there's 3, because Texture's already dead. Look at this ult. Look at this ult. Into spawn. Lackey has killed Forsaken, who was watching mid. Oh. And something just re-cleared spawn at the same time. Here comes Devi, up on top of here, really unexpected angle. But Lakia manages to trade.
Will get some damage in, but Meteor somehow manages to get that backside control already, opens it up. Will not have the North up for a moment at least.
Paranoia with the Dizzy. Nice. Oh, they're playing with the Thrash. Well, you have no oh. Something stole the kill. Monyet wanted to knife him.
To the Blades, to Thunder Gaming, even though it is Paper X.
Hey, we're not in Tondo.
True, we are in Sunset.
So now they can buy the Outlaw again.
LA, thank you.
Feels like Paper X
But you gotta admire
are maybe the only team really trying to prioritize Outlaw usage.
My kill, yeah. He's off for that 4th quad, right? And also one more point after having.
Here it comes again. Forsaken again buying the Outlaw.
You know, playing off of that Dizzy, they managed to pick up those kills as Gen G tried to make a play through.
How are Paper X looking?
Adapting around it, getting a lot of good information.
They had some interesting ideas on Breeze, but the coordination wasn't really there.
It felt that this is
I didn't really like the way that they played Lotus, but they skilled their way through it. And it's pretty tough to tell so far on this map, because they're just kind of sniping everybody. Like, there's just been so many Outlaw kills onto Gen G. It's almost been like a different version of Valorant.
Doesn't allow him to push outside of market cleanly, but yikes. Is he gonna get thrashed in here? Actually into
Devi's going for the same play in basically every round, where he puts down this wall that blocks the push into market, and then he hops on top of that newsstand. I'm pretty sure if Gen G took mid control, they would be able to shoot Devi in the legs. I don't think the wall would block that sightline. Alright, so, I mean, huge amounts of Outlaw kills, obviously, because that was against Nico as well. But he could keep the Outlaw again, couldn't he? What's the economy look like? It's hard for us to tell from here. I'm not like Sliggy, I'm not keeping track of it in my head. What are your thoughts on Paper X's comp? I think no duelist comps can work on this map. But I would expect them to play quite slowly on the attack side. And if there's one team that I don't think is going to play slowly on the attack side, it's Paper X. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do once the sides flip.
Forsaken is ready for them. And another a double up to this is he's not the only one playing. It's him. Right behind him has been something, right? So if he misses, something immediately throws out the Dizzy at a high enough angle. It flashes the rest of Gen G. They back away, allows Forsaken or something to reset the fight and put themselves in a position.
I am becoming a Charon believer, though.
That's actually such.
Did you like Kesnick Chamber? I don't think he needed to be on Chamber for him to do what he was doing. But yeah, I did quite like it. I think he demonstrated an extremely good understanding of defensive setups with the way that he was looking on attack side. On all 3 of the maps, actually, but including when he played Chamber on Sunset.
Right now, Gen G has caught the timeout, so
and he's such a difficult player to bully that Chamber works really well for him on defense because he'll just stay on lines forever, giving his team good info.
Just to get into A main. They haven't even pushed yet on
Look at how aggressive Paper X are down mid. Triple pushing down mid. Just leaving B. Totally open.
How many players are already here on tiles?
Gambling that their read is correct, and all of Gen G are set up. Wow, Munchkin might just get the goated play here. Here comes Munchkin. Mind Freak reacted. Something wide swung. And Munchkin still gets 2. Or Divide. Dude, this is what, how do they get away with stuff like that? It's only Texture left alive. He pops the ult. He's surely going to win the round. Oh. So close. So close.
But they got themselves out of a tight situation courtesy of the man, the myth, the Texture.
Made the round expensive, but yeah, Texture. What a way.
By the way, you got the Pacific Preds wrong, so no 15 gifted for you, Mr. Egg. Yeah, I did. It was Talon that messed me up. My Preds have generally been pretty good so far, though. I'm still good. I'm still perfect in Americas.
That said, though, I mean, Paper X, what a quick way to push down tiles. I love the
what a cackle. Outlaw, no shield for Forsaken. Glass cannon outlaw.
No contact just yet, though. No, they're really pressing up into this. They're not slowing down.
3 players, 1 shot to it.
So it is a full commitment right now for Gen G. They want to get a quick start onto this post plant from the looks of things. They want to position for that, for the goods of this.
I think they should be able to get off quite nice post plant retake util here with Dizzy, Flash, Paranoia. Look at this push up though from Lakia. Lakia doesn't have anyone to play off though. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. Oh shit. Fuck. Oh, little bro is in there. He's just, oh god. Wingman just clapped butt cheeks in the smoke. Texture's not winning that.
Texture's just so far. Even if he can win some of the fights here, he's just way far from stopping something from.
After Lakia's flash catches nobody, he's gotta bail there. I don't even like the play at the beginning at all, but certainly when the flash doesn't catch.
I mean, the Outlaw being fired off, but then everyone else just coming in just as quick. And you're talking about Texture, but Paper Rex, the movement that they got, I mean, Monyet, maybe just a little
I think Paper Rex are playing much tighter together than they were on map 1. And I think that's leading to significantly higher success, even with similar decision making. And also Gen G are doing their own, you know, bits of tossing, like Lakia's play there in the post plant. Devi going for another wall boost over the smoke at the top of mid.
Try to play things slow and careful. They don't have all too much. You've got Texture on the Guardian, so you want to make the most of what you have. Back towards A. You can see that Paper X are changing things up again. You've got control over B shops, B main, and you don't see anything.
High-low setup here should be devastating, I think.
About to happen. That is why Devi as well as Monyet are playing that far back on A site.
And again, if this is a full commitment of like majority of the players of Gen G, if they push out through elbow like this.
Okay. Okay, I don't think Monyet needs to be fighting this over and over and over, because his positioning is just so limited when he's on top of that box. He's trying to swing off device contact. Really nice little double play. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Well played by Paper X.
An utter disaster when Paper X comes out to reclaim what was theirs.
That's just a
yeah, I feel like the coordination between duos looks significantly better than it did on Breeze at this point. They were still cooking some stuff up on Breeze, but like the way that they're seamlessly flowing from this high-low into Devi plays at the back of default, Monyet swings off device contact, just kind of rotating these little setup plays forwards. That was really nice. I mean, just look at the way that Paper X are positioned around the map, though. There's no one on A. This was what was confusing me about their Lotus setups as well. They're just gambling sometimes. It's not like they have amazing retake ults. Something's got an op. They're just deciding to take control of the tempo of the round from the defense side and force Gen G into a certain area of the map.
Meteor is lurking. Maybe that's the difference.
I think this style of Valorant is inherently so variable.
A little bit of manpower away from the rest of Gen G, so Meteor stays towards the back. The rest of them come back towards the front.
Just introduces crazy amounts of variance. But having said that, I mean, the retake setups, even without the ults, I think could go crazy on this map. Monya dies. They hadn't even, you know, they got in before the plant even came down. Meteor is miles away. Are they swinging off this? No, they're just pressing him to die. There was no attempt to use that as bait. There was simply no attempt. Oh, God. Meteor finally coming around behind them.
No plan on the spike just yet. Numbers still favoring the Korean side, though. Something comes
20 seconds, and Meteor hasn't got a kill. Wait, whoa. What's going on here? What's going on here? What is going on here? Something got into that back position right as they tried to plant there. Ah, Gen G didn't feel confident getting the plant down at any point.
I thought things were starting to get really dicey, especially up around Link. I mean, if you look at what Gen G was about to do, yes, they wanted to get that spike down, but they couldn't quite do it because of the Thrasher that came in, because of this looming threat that was Paper
There is a lot of utility from this Paper X composition that's very good on the A side. The KO flashes are nice, the nade can be pretty good, the Gecko util is all really effective on retake A. And I think you can just inform Paranoias to get a lot of value off them based on where the Dizzy pings or where you're hearing people. And again, Forsaken is using the Outlaw. He's so Outlaw pilled.
Now they're mixing up. For how many rounds was it? Like 4 or 5 rounds straight? They just kept going A.
Yeah, the Sage Wall to block off one of the avenues too is useful because you can't really afford to like turn around and break that shit.
Oh wow, they might actually get Collat here. If they're not careful, into the corner is also Mind Freak.
Another nice little double setup that they weren't expecting. Forsaken picks up Lackey on the other side. It's a half buy for Gen G, but they are certainly getting caught. I think the call that it's like they're falling into the spider's web, I think, is particularly apt. Because Paper X have a bunch of different ideas about what they want to do on this map, and Gen G just kind of keep walking into them. There are gaps. There's tons of gaps all over the place on Paper X's defense. But Gen G can't find them, because they're not used to the composition. So they don't know how to read it.
Looks a little bit lost, although they...
When you play against a composition that you know how it works, it's very easy to... You see, like, the position of 2 players, and you're like, okay, I think I understand what defensive setup they're using. But when it's a comp like this, you just can't visualize it in your head. It doesn't auto-populate based on your playing experience. You don't have enough data.
It is so darn difficult for Gen G to fight back and wrangle for map control.
Absolutely. It does stems to how much more control they have on that defending side.
I think they're cooking up some stuff on Sunset. I think this would catch a lot of teams off guard, even if they were good at Sunset. But I think their Lotus and Breeze looked... There were definitely some threats on Breeze on their attack side. I just don't think it was thorough enough. But I could see them winning on Breeze if their players were all just on fire and playing a little tighter to each other. That's not a great win condition for the team, is it? But I actually think that there is some danger to the way that Paper X are currently playing this. And if you got caught out by this and you weren't ready for it, there's a lot of different things that you have to worry about. You have to worry about weird little Sage boosts. You have to try and deny the value that Devi's getting with the wall. You have to make sure that you're defaulting properly, but then make sure that you're not running into random stacks from Paper X when they just decide, we're going to play 4 players B this round. Oh, dude, Devi, dude. Oh my god. I think he was about to get cancelled by the KO knife anyway there, wasn't he? They're trying to get a react into sight, and they get blocked. And Gen G are trying to find their timings, thinking that, oh, okay, if they're fighting really heavily over here, maybe you have the timing to get in with the Viper Wall. Yeah, they can't get anything off. Akrukis, thanks for the 24 months.
Star fraggers. Maybe Charon, but I don't know how much this Paranoia can really do. Look at the sight lines that Paper Rex has covered. Something, in case someone pushes up mid, you're gonna get fragged. If you go through market, maybe, but it's a full 5-on-3 retake. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's
Thank God he didn't run through that. All right, 9-2, yeah.
Really
Another threat at the start of the round. I mean, Devi had not really been playing that position at all with his wall. Seems like a very high-value position if it doesn't get broken. And they had decent support to make sure that... Look, that knife... I'm pretty sure that knife cancelled Texture's ult anyway.
Just so interesting how this composition is actually so good against Gen G right
But I think the reason that Gen G looks so out of it here is because they don't... They're just struggling to come up with the answers for what to do.
That wall actually, you know, throws off Texture a little bit. If it wasn't there, he might have just felt...
I think people don't appreciate sometimes how difficult it is to play against some weird shit.
Back off to this, though. Last round of the first half, let's just rush into B. Why not?
Imagine if you actually didn't pick up the rifle there. That would have been
it's so difficult to keep all of the threats in your head.
Everybody's blind up until this point,
oh my God.
They're just coming into this. We'll call this
I mean, at this point, though, Gen G look like they're just sending it.
Pushes it up. There it is.
Paper Rex are rotating so heavily. Whoa. Paper Rex rotating mega heavy. And Gen G just tried to walk through a fucking slow into a thrash, into snake bites. Yeah, that was brutal.
And everything else along with it. And along with it, some Gen G members. Unfortunate, but you know, it's just that last round.
Yeah, that round was pretty bad from Gen G, but I think they were trying some stuff previously and just ran into brick walls.
What did it say? I wasn't reading it. My BF loves you more than me.
Oh.
No, I think the Sage on Sunset, it actually poses questions for the attacking team, because it just gets outrageous value if you don't break the wall.
They're all trying their darndest to give us a good show.
Absolutely.
But it's definitely not easy right now for Gen G.
You can wall up some choke point, and then you just don't even have to worry about an entire half of the map.
Although I am wondering about how PaperX's
and
composition will work.
it's quite hard to run fast takes of map control on A if the slows are there too. Foot were trying to run Sage for a while. They're running Sage Breach, and it's got some legs. It's probably the best map in the game at the moment to run a Sage on. I still don't know if it's the best pick, but it's not terrible.
Subsequent rounds after the pistol too.
And this could be the make or break for Gen G.
Do you think Sky would benefit or be worse with one flash that regens? I mean, it would be different. Probably worse. Because I think the flexibility that two flashes afford you, even if you run out of them, is probably going to be more useful most of the time.
And that's why there's a little bit more pressure onto these Gen G players' shoulders.
Right, so Paper Rex on the attack side. I did have a lot of questions about how this was going to work on the attack side, but it looks like we might not even be able to watch very much of it, unless they start losing.
He's been the utility boss on this Sage.
Because I thought Paper Rex... I think no duelist comps like this generally want to be playing quite slowly, but that's not something I associate with Paper Rex.
He's giving his life for Paper Rex at this point.
Here's a smoke, a wall out, break the cam early. I don't think you can play full off-site post plants. Yeah, okay, so we're getting a Paranoia into backside play. This is a nice extra layer to what Paper Rex are going for. Oh, the flash dizzy combo with the Paranoia fucking cooks. Yo, that cooks, and the timing on that was immaculate too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Too many people jumping around.
Does he have the time? Does he have the utility? Does he have the angles with the Sheriff?
Wow. Well, that house of cards came tumbling down, didn't it? They did such a good job with all of that utility at being able to get those picks. But because they didn't actually take backside control, when they decided to go for the refight again, the Gen G players were just like right-clicking them down with the classics. Look at this. I mean, I guess it wasn't classics. Karen had a
a little bit iffy about a full 5-on-5 retake. But as soon as the
holy fuck, I ate some chili cauliflower earlier. It was fairly hot. It wasn't incredibly hot, it was fairly hot. But whatever the hell they put on it, I just farted and my asshole hurts. That's crazy. I've never had that before. I'm tasting it twice. Once on the way in, once on the way out.
Great start, you know, for the second half.
That's Value Town.
It's not yet over just yet.
Holy fuck, man.
Okay, Monyet finds it.
You ever had that before?
Trivia, by the way. If you're going to be a Cypher, you know, playing outside of B, you want the tripwire on the floor because it's harder for the opponents to break it. But obviously they can jump over it, but just a quick FYI. Anyways, going back into this for Paper X. They're coming into market. Munchkin hasn't even cleared this out just yet, and he is full blinded. Can he even find something with the judge now that Dizzy has offloaded himself on
okay, well at least they only dropped a judge there.
Texture.
I don't know how much Forsaken can really do with that. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. 2 for 1 is good enough, I think.
Caron denies with that Spectre.
So there's a little chance Forsaken with the judge. I don't know how useful it's going to be. Lakia coming up from behind is the one that you want to watch out for.
Oh, okay. I thought they just missed the timing there. It looked like Paper X were about to slip into Boba.
Right, they still know that any player of Paper X with any upgraded weapon is...
Yeah, why have you just sent me a Facebook link?
They can always just do that. Yep. Put him in a spot is most advantageous here for Gen G.
We should all know less about each other.
Solid second round in that second half.
Sorry. I've got to parasocial it up. If you don't know about what's happening on my anus, how will you ever love me?
A couple of these players, Karen, Munchkin, not quite being able to afford the bigger
I think if you were to plot a graph of people you love and people you know the most about what's happening with their anus, those would be really strongly correlated. Like strong positive correlation.
Hang back because they are the controllers.
Yeah. Like how the blade actually clears
like
more
children, family members, that kind of thing is what I'm thinking here. Partners. What about doctors? Isn't there a love for your patient?
Controlling this back angle for now. Devi also leading it, or rather defending the gap. So it's a pretty clean take here from Paper X. They just had
same take really from Paper X. Devi's got a gap in that wall that he's... Oh my god, Devi looks so clean today. Devi actually looks so tasty today.
Oh yeah, he can.
Bang! Bang! Bang!
Man's Devi, the Swiss Army knife of Paper X. What you need him to
today?
Be,
yeah, I mean, good point. He might just end up doing this all season, same as last year.
Around against a half buy, but you know, you were talking about the tripwires, you were talking about the executes coming through. All of that is actually just straight up negated because of Devi's barrier orb. Put up, Meteor
Bro just really waves his asshole around his loved ones. I mean, it seems unarguable to me that you know more about people you love's anuses than strangers' anuses. Maybe you're all knowing a lot about fucking random people you meet in the bus's butthole, but that ain't me. I think it was a fair comment.
Moving their way quickly into A main. Devi, because of that ace, also now has...
You don't understand how Grinder works?
So they're looking
What, you telling me there's no love?
They can either bait their teammate for a res or just res them to res them. If that makes sense.
It's just sex, huh?
Oh, Lakia finds one. Tripwire. Meteor holding at the corner of this site. Look at how Gen G has just got all control in A main. This leaves Paper X.
When I was in TF2, somebody signed me up for Grinder using my phone number. And I got a text message from someone called Dad for Lad asking me to come to a, what did he say, a barbecue or something? I can't remember. Did you meet up? No.
The side over Link, Ali, and then Munchkin coming up from the back of the elbow. Paper X
Dad for Lad is such a classic. It was in the Manchester area actually, Reese. It was in Preston.
But again,
there's like 6 Dad for Lads in my local area. I didn't realize it was such a popular name, to be honest with you.
Okay, sorry, I was getting into the vibe of the timeout here. But you know what, Gen G, they're getting their second win. It looks like they have a lot more understanding of how to play when they're the ones on that defending arc. Right?
Yeah, no, I never met up with them.
The thing is, I also wanted to add, you know,
I don't like the idea of being the lad in that
if you look at it, they are committing
dynamic.
A lot of ability just to go through into the side, which doesn't leave a lot of post-plant abilities here.
You know, you're opting into a power dynamic there.
Going to be raw aim, but then at that point, Gen G can match them up, which again works in favor of Gen G.
Happened on the pistol.
Exactly.
I don't think PaperX does that too often.
I'm not a dad either.
Especially they have the Thrasher and they really want to make that play work.
Fair enough.
What we haven't really seen too much of is.
I would assume that spawning a child is not going to suddenly fill me with a fever for lads.
Work out too well. So it's back to another.
But I guess I won't know for a while.
Is, how do we
we'll see.
Elbow? How do we break through this main push? Latvia is holding such a tight angle, and of course you've also got Karen, who's possibly going to position himself in an.
So we've got the same kind of attacking Viper Ball, which we've seen plenty of teams do.
Look at how both teams actually scramble.
PaperX are taking a little bit of mid control, or at least making it seem like they're over towards mid. It looks like they're going to go back and try to challenge Karen. Wow, that paranoia is nice. That's a good one. That's going to catch people on basically any kind of off angle when they're trying to challenge.
That's why they actually left it, because Meteor has this camera marking up all the way.
I like that play from Munya.
Spots out something, so that means
a second one way.
Karen
to try and play around.
Tripwires for Meteor here. That's going to be the important part right now.
There goes little bro. Oh, Lucky is taking a lot of damage there. That's a mosh into a slow. The res immediately onto Forsaken. Lakia picks him off but dies for it. So at the end of the day, it's the same kind of result. And now what do PaperX do? Because if they go and force 1v1s, they can still lose this. At least Monyet and Mindfreak are doubling up.
Trade's good enough, but Texture on the flank.
Ah, they're not really together. It doesn't matter though. Mindfreak wins the 1v1 and something found a timing on Munchkin.
That maybe Texture could have gotten something, but you're absolutely right. Pop shot for pop shot, 12-5 in PaperX. They only need one more.
Gonna load it up on the TV and go to bed.
Although, yeah, it does not do all too much against Karen. It gives them enough
space. Can I do the same thing?
They had that space. They were able to execute into the site, you know, just making use of the flashes again, or going past it, having to really come in and trade out for each other.
I mean, the screen's pretty small, but I do have a lot of range with this microphone.
The young gun on the stage.
That one way, I swear you can't even see their feet when you throw it like that. Now, why would you wall mark it like that? Alright, well, here comes the ult. Forsaken with an outrageous entry. Something has his ult online as well. I mean, this just looks like PaperX are going to send it and bully Gen G. They've warmed up. Okay, Devi dies. I can't see the minimap, so I can't see whether they can pick the thrash back up. I'm going to assume they can.
Started to tick down here for PaperX as that spike has been planted down.
Dizzy up to apply a little bit of pressure. Here comes the Raze ult.
They're using this to bounce Texture off with the showstopper.
Where is Texture?
Oh my god, how did they actually get these punishes? But still, Charon lights up the.
Oh, what a reposition. What a reposition. That could win them the round. Oh, so close, so close, so close. That really looked like it was going to be a round win for PaperX.
5 HP, really
all right.
close. But thanks to a bit of body blocking,
I didn't see what was going on there, to be honest with you. I did not see what was going on.
Gen G stays in the game. I mean, the way the entire site hit breaks out.
What, how did Texture not get value with his ultimate? Did they get shut down by, like, a knife or something? Dude, I couldn't see shit from over there. Yeah, he got suppressed. Yeah.
We'll say, though, because of...
That is so much forehead. I'm bald, dickhead. I'm bald. It's not all forehead. Where the fuck do you think my forehead ends, then? I'm like my ass cheeks.
Rolling for him. They called immediate down on this wall, though. Texture's playing very close into this. This could be an opening.
Okay, Texture.
Something.
He's been on fire, but something is different.
Has to get close. He needs, or he wants to just stop them from picking up anything right now.
Here comes that exec again. This time they've used the paranoia early on though, so they don't have that to pressure backside. They don't actually have anything for backside. It's only the dizzy. So they're not going to fight aggressive. If they kill Lakia, this is another gun. No, never mind.
That's a lot of access points for both him as well as Charon coming in through B main.
Comes down to gunplay.
Whoa, they're blind as fuck.
So they have to force fight this. Can Forsaken hold on? Let his teammate at least fight for him. Cannot. And as the dust settles, it's Monyet 3 versus 1.
Very decisive from Lakia and Karen on the flank.
Closer and closer, but that spike is just diffusing in front of his eyes, and he can't do nothing.
Paper X now with it. More rifles online.
That's a nice idea from Paper X. You know, we've seen this execute already with the barrier orb, the gecko coming through. Great shot from something to open things up, but towards the end, like you mentioned before, Asterai, the whole thing just comes down to gunplay towards the end of it.
Am I staying up for the next match? What time is it? 1 AM? No.
Lakia gets the frag from behind.
No.
It opens things up so much. The rest of the Paper X pinched down inside B main.
One of these days coming up, actually probably tomorrow, I'll do a bunch of VOD review on stream.
Firepower here for Gen G to make do with.
Who's playing next? I'm not sure actually. I can't remember what the schedule is.
Paper X a lot more confident to actually push through this. But here's the thing. That Sky has not given away his position. So if he can play close enough, a guy like
Ooh, Paranoia trying to time it off the cam contact, I think. Meteor reswung and got another. Monyet's trying to hunt him down. There was no backup for Monyet there. That could have very easily been a feed.
Trade for trade, but Paper X, as these dust settles, as these
can Texture get anything done here? I feel like this is a timing that Texture's got to take. He just has to try to make something happen. Ah, close.
Everybody backs away onto elbow here. They got the utility, they got everything.
Munchkin's only got a classic.
Needs to find something right now with this flank.
Oh my god, they swapped the camera there and I thought Texture had got 2. Hey. Alright, fair enough. Paper X outclassed them. It took them a little bit to get that over the line, to be honest, considering it was a 10-2 half, but obviously that final map was the best one that we saw from Paper X, but I think the overall quality was not particularly high in that game. The rifling was... it had some spectacular moments. From both teams, because Texture was also popping off, but I don't think that was a game to light the world on fire and put Paper X's opponents on notice. I kind of like what they're going for on Sunset. I think that combination of the Omen Gecko KO goes crazy. And I think actually Omen Gecko KO, I mean the Gecko KO in particular, you can run all over the place. I think Gecko KO is really good.
Shrouded steps inside of his smokes. I mean, it's the same stuff that he did on Global, just on a different team and enabling them in a different way. The paranoias at times also help.
Yeah, to be honest with you,
I mean, Monyet has been putting up good numbers.
I think that
the entire team has been doing.
I think that Sunset could definitely be a good map for them. But I'm not a fan of what they're running on Lotus. I don't think it looks good. I think there's way too much gambling going on the defense side. I think the comp also isn't very good for rubble control on either side of the map.
It just shows whatever role you play, as long as you are that
and
good
the
of a
attack side
player,
calling also wasn't very good on Lotus either.
Big number on the first blood stats under Forsaken and something's name.
Loving that, man. And again.
And Breeze, they had some ideas, but they were like a little half-baked, I think.
Here for Paper X. I feel like a lot of fans were.
Isn't it like 3 AM? No, it's only 1 AM.
Paper X, they brought back the status quo.
I think Paper X had more stuff that they could have shown on Breeze, because it looked like they were going to set up for some set plays, and then they ended up getting stopped from executing them. So I think if they run it again on Breeze, they'll definitely have extra plays to use. I don't think they were deliberately saving them. It was just that they couldn't execute them super well.
Pacific Kickoff Day 3's first win goes to PRX. Congratulations!
I think T1 would be better than...
Fans, I can hear the fans shouting.
I think T1 would be better than Paper X on Lotus. I think T1 would otherwise have a very solid, fun game against Paper X. But I think there's a serious chance that T1 could win it.
After off-season for 6 months, it feels so good to play on one tournament with my friends. Yeah.
네, 작년에 이어서 이번에도 또 우승을 이어갈까 많은 팬분들이 궁금해하고 있는데 이렇게 멋지게 승리로 시작을 했습니다. 그래서 소감이 어떤지 물어보니까요. 작년에 이제 6개월간의 여정도 굉장히 재밌었는데 이번 시작도 굉장히 좋다고 좋아하는 모습을 보였습니다. 다음 질문도 이어가 보도록 할게요. 되게 맵 1과 맵 2에서 되게 정말 어려운 그런 상황에 많이 닥쳤어요. 그런데 끝내는 반전을 통해서 승리를 이끌어 갔는데 새로운 젠지 팀에 대해서 어떻게 생각하는지 또 물어보겠습니다. It was a neck and neck match on map 1 and map 2, but at the end it was it was Paper X obviously. But how do you think about the new Genji? How was it handling them?
Actually, Genji plays so great, especially Meteor and Texture. Yeah, the Texture so good this game.
Yeah, I mean, on an individual level, those two are definitely capable of holding their own against anybody. Especially now that Meteor isn't on a roll where he can just throw his life away as much. But yeah, Texture is legitimately world class on teams that are not. Yeah, Charon was surprisingly good. I'm becoming a Charon believer. I think I'm still not convinced on Lakia and Genji's general calling and game plan, but
take a break, even one day. So I guess it's hard work on Sunset, and it's meaning we can play without duelist in Valorant.
Oh, okay. So you are really prepared for this. 네, 저희가 오프 시즌에서도 이 선셋이 맵이 나오자마자 굉장히 열심히 연습했고 그 열심히 연습한 결과 그 노력이 오늘 보이지 않았나 싶다고 아주 겸손한 모습을 또다시 보여줬습니다. So now we have a little
would Zest be better? I mean, I think Zest would be better than Lakia and might end up calling better than Munchkin too. I don't know how great Zest really is as an IGL. DRX tried it a few times, but it never really stuck. But I mean, if Zest and RB had been available at the beginning of the off-season, I think it's almost unfathomable that they would have ended not on a tier 1 team. I think they would have ended on like a Genji.
지금까지 썸띵 선수와 인터뷰 해봤습니다. This was something of PRX, and I'll toss it to the desk. Bye.
Sentinels versus 100 Thieves. Who you got?
Okay, now I'm actually.
I got Sen. I got Sen, but I do think that that's up in the air a little bit. Some of my criticisms of Sen have been that I think at the moment their map pool looks a little one-dimensional. Not one-dimensional in the sense that there's only one map, but I think their Sunset has looked really, really good. I think that their split has looked really good, but 100 Thieves look very comfortable on split as well. And I think also that assuming Tens is continuing to play the Yoru, Bind should be good also for Sentinels. But outside of that, either Sen have not been winning or it's an unknown. And so I think it's really difficult to know how a map pool situation is going to go down this early on in the year. And at the same time, you know, teams could have improved their map pool dramatically during the weeks where we didn't see them play. I thought I saw better quality play from Sentinels in general. I think that 100 Thieves had a very one-dimensional approach to Bind that I don't think is that great. I think they played very proactive split defense. And they really got their confidence up. And the Breach Sova comp just didn't have enough people that were willing to fight when 100 Thieves decided to just brawl. But I think that's a specific problem with the way that Leviathan were playing. And I don't think other teams like Sentinels are going to run into the same issue and just get shit-stomped. I think Split will be really competitive and a fun map to watch. So, yeah, hard to know, but it's gonna be good, I think. I think Sentinels have a better quality roster as well. Do you think Sentinels and Loud come out of that group? Based on what I've seen so far, Loud will get out that group, and either Aspas will get out the group, or Sentinels will. But there are so many opportunities for upsets, for my opinion to change based on what we see of teams playing. It is so early on to have any kind of concrete opinion about any team. It's really difficult to know yet. I think America's looks stacked, though. The quality of play is way higher than I was expecting in America's. Yeah, I think 100 Thieves looked better than people expected. But I wasn't really impressed with what I saw on map 1. And let me think. It was hard to even tell on map 3 because Aspas was just pooing on them. Did I like what they were doing on map 3? I don't really know. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm not going to watch any more tonight. But tomorrow, we could do a morning stream, actually. Could do a morning VOD review stream. I could wake up in 8 hours, go to the gym, start my stream at maybe 11 a.m. There's not really enough time then, though. Oh, no, there is enough time because the broadcast starts at like 2 p.m., doesn't it? Yeah, I could fit in a bit of a... I know, I'm trying to go to the gym while I'm here because there's one just downstairs. What about ranked? That's not happening. I can't find a place to play. Right, let me see who we're raiding then. So I'd like to raid somebody without too many viewers. And I think we'll go for... Who should we go for? Is Ryan online? What is Ryan's Twitch? Ryan Central. Do I not follow Ryan? He is online. I don't follow Ryan. What the fuck? Okay. We'll go and raid
Hey,
Ryan.
friend, good job on cast.
Thank you, Binary. Thank you. All right, we're off. We are off. Not supporting your fellow balds? Well, I'm giving him a raid now, so, you know, we'll get there in the end. Yeah, so tomorrow in the morning, I'll probably do a VOD review stream. And then later on, I'll be casting Sentinels 100 Thieves. And then after I finish Sentinels 100 Thieves, I don't think there's a Pacific game. So I might do more VOD review of the Pacific matches. So I'll see you then. Bye.